Shields up, Ironbreakers. How's everybody doing today on this fine Thursday afternoon? Hopefully you're all doing good. And hopefully can improve on that with some more Path of Exile 2. You guys are all just like making fun of me before the stream even starts. I see how it is. Friggin' old man, this kind of player. It's just like, well, what the hell, dude? Like, I can't play the game the way I want to play? See how it is? Y'all are terrible. So today we're going to start by looking at some abilities, most likely. Because I want to see if I can find out which abilities I would even like it. Oh, God. Did I just explode the game? I think I exploded the game. Jesus. Yep, I did. So apparently I can't play this game in windowed mode? That sucks. That's actually a problem. Yo, I didn't miss this one. Yo, Eris, what's up? Well, I crashed the game because I was trying to play it in windowed mode. Because I think that windowed full screen is actually somewhat problematic, but it's not the end of the world. We'll figure it out. Let's go here. I can actually do this one. Yeah, should be fine. At least I think there's not that many things that are going to pop up. Let me see. This is not... Yeah. Ah, sword is just a bait. Just a big old bait. It's just, I'm used to seeing this, I'm used to seeing the skills in a different overlay. Now he's ignoring us, not like it never happened. Shut up, Dan! It never did happen. Hey, Yonko kills Aloha, brother. Bifocals. These are not bifocals. My eyesight is not that bad. In all honesty, I hate the whole concept of League Start. It's basically playing a build that other than what you actually want just because it's marginal less dependent on early League. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the... I mean, assuming that I wasn't even aware that that was the concept. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of playing something that you don't actually want to play just because it's going to be more efficient than the thing you actually want to play. Yeah. Now, continuing onwards, let me see. Do I want to do spears? Because, like, ultimately the thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to do something with a shield. Unfortunately, the only shield skills that we have is, like, shield charge, resonating shield. What's the thing that scales with this? How do I see this? Is it alt? Where are the... Oh, here it is. AoE, melee, sustained, physical, channeling. AoE, melee, slam, sustained, fire, duration. So it's like... I'm curious. Where's the spellcasting stuff? Minion AoE, physical, duration. Oh, this is for... AoE projectile, cold, payoff, spell. Okay, so they have spell in the name. That's where the stuff shows up. Attack, 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 attack. So all of these are either attack or war cries. There's no spells in this tree. Because, like, one of the things that I was considering is we could go Druid Oracle and then see if there's anything where we can get double value out of both attack damage and spell damage. I guess that's not a thing. I also didn't see any nodes that would particularly benefit from you having attack damage and spell damage. So it would seem to me, in my relative noob status, that there's no inherent advantage to having melee and spell damage unless you plan on using a combination of an attack skill and a spell skill. That appears to be the way that things go. Which is not something that I'm particularly happy about, because I was considering things. Jesus, 116 int. Smith of Katava is looking more and more sexy. Either that or Titan. Smith of Katava or Titan. Maybe Titan. It's just Smith of Katava also lets you bypass a lot of, it just lets you bypass a lot of, resistance shenanigans. You can get that stuff early on. I really wanted to do something cool with maces. Seems like most people are saying that what you do is this. It's attack, AoE, melee, physical, and duration. Physical damage per armor on shield, 80% less damage if destroyed within 0.5 seconds by something other than you. 100% more damage if destroyed by your skills. Explosion length is 4 meters, limit is 2 active walls. Wall duration is 6 seconds, wall segments have 5,016 maximum life. I don't even know what are the gems that you put to... I wonder what Gemling Legionnaire would do to shield wall. That could be interesting. Shield charge doesn't have cooldown anymore. Don't know if you knew that. Really? So now it's mana per second, so you can just keep charging it. But the damage on it is still kind of ass, right? You can't do like a whole build around shield charge, I would imagine. Or can you? Wait, can you? Because, like, I know that this combos with that gem. This combos... Yeah, we're gonna check out some of those videos soon, Armed Wings. I just wanted to see some here. Where's the support gems? Skill. I forget what support gems even look like. Spirit gems. Support. Do I not have support gems at all? Like, what the fuck? Oh, no, wait. Support gems are lower tier. Yeah, these are the support gems. Where was it? This is not it. There's one that... Ah, here it is. Stomping Ground. See, you can do Stomping Ground coupled together with Shield Bash, and then there's Shockwave every time that you do it. God damn it. Chat wasn't updating. I was like, what the fuck? People are actually using the smithing ability these days. It's actually very strong now. Druid archetype uses shapeshift and staff. Yeah, I don't want to do shapeshift. I was just thinking that Druid seems interesting because I like the way that the character looks, and maybe doing something with spells combined with physical, but that's likely not going to happen. Did you ever try Sunder? I tried Sunder. I felt like it was slow as fuck. But then again, I probably tried that not too many times. What does preparing for the next league entail? Is it just getting support gems? No. Everything's going to reset Maidenless Sage. I'm preparing in terms of, like, getting my muscle memory back by playing a little bit, just fooling around, looking at skills, trying to figure out what ascendancy I'm going to be playing, yada, yada, yada. That's the idea. You can blow up shield wall using shield charge. So you could do shield charge, shield wall. I like the idea of the shield charge. Has anybody ever done a shield charging build? It seems like so much fun. You just go in and it's like shield charge, shield charge, shield charge. Because like, if we go... Should make every ascendancy available to every character for true freedom of choice. Doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of having a passive tree like this? Kind of defeats the purpose of that. If anybody can start anywhere they want, then like what's the purpose of having all of this? Anyway. Let's see something. Why is Ruri's map remove only? This is so weird. Hey, we still have Velon's map. Look at that. Yeah, this is like all messed up. Where's my gems? Shouldn't I have shield charge in here somewhere? Let me see. I do have shield charge with stomping ground. Let me put this in. Not sure if you can tell that I don't really play mouse and keyboard.
Will best you. Forward.
The thing is, I just don't think that it will scale very well. It's definitely fun, you just kind of like charge through. But I don't think you'd be able to scale this to a point where it's actually just killing everything. I am using Stampede on it. Oh no, you mean Stampede as in the other skill. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some shenanigans with it to make it work. I just don't know what those shenanigans would be because I have no idea what I'm doing. Let me see. Hideout. Fortifying cry spam with ailments. Gems. Wait, I have Stampede. Oh, this is the... Yeah, but this one doesn't... I know that this one you can make some really beefy builds with it. But I want the one with the shield, though. Because that's the meme. The meme is being able to do it with the shield. That's what I think would be interesting. Let's Fortifying Cry. Infernal Cry. Fortifying Cry. Guard and triggers shield wave when subsequent shield attacks deal damage. Wait, what the fuck is this? I don't remember anything about a shield wave. Am I about to make the biggest memest, the most memeable build in existence? I think I am. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna fuck around with all of these shield things, but we're gonna do it as a Gemling Legionnaire. Still going all strength. Could go giant split. No, I'm probably not going all strength. I'm probably going to go strength dexterity. Is dexterity or agility in this game? I keep forgetting. Can trigger shield wall? What do you mean it can trigger shield wall? This? I don't know if it can. Can trigger shield wave, not shield wall. It's just at this point we're putting too many things. Like, we're going to do shield charge, we're going to do shield wall, we're going to do fortifying cry. Then we're going to just, like, shield charge through everybody. With a one-handed mace and a big, beefy fucking shield. That sounds like fun. Sounds like it could work. But I'll probably have to start as a... Let's see here. This is why I wanted to have the game in friggin' windowed mode. Because then this happens. God! I hate this. I hate it. I hate HDMI. HDMI is so fucking bad. It's the worst. Actually the worst. Why is HDMI such ass? So... Okay, this isn't gonna work. Let's see if we can't crash this game again. Windowed. Do windowed mode. We did it! Alright. Listen, just stay like that. Okay? Just don't explode on me. Thank you. Now then. We're gonna go... Mercenary? We'll eventually go Gemling Legionnaire. Implanted Gems. Where's the one? Is it this one? Advanced Thaumaturgy. This would be the one. And then we have to pick, like, 2 more nodes. For each color of socket, that is the most numerous gain. Red hits against you have no critical damage bonus. Ooh. Blue, skills have 30% less cost. Green, 40% less movement speed penalty from using skills while moving. I think that... Was this changed? I remember that this was a little bit different. Maximum cold resistance. 20% less attributes. Inherent bonuses gained from attributes are doubled. I don't like that. So we'd want that. Problem is if we go this way. 2 leveled all skills with dexterity requirement. So he can get +2 to level of all skills with strength. Which could be interesting. Then we'd get like 2 more points, which would let us go to like either here, gem studded, or here for attribute requirements of gems can be satisfied by your highest attribute. If we do this, we could just stack strength, right? Like if I do this, I can just stack strength and not need anything else, but we'll need some dexterity if we want to actually be able to hit things. I'll check on those in a bit, Knack and thoughts. Stomping around will give you the option to play with fissures instead. Yeah, but then we'd have to like do fissures and then charge. Which is also something that we can try out. We could try out both. You don't need dex for mace anymore? Really? Your accuracy is 100%? No, I don't want to do resolute technique because it removes our crits. I want to be able to crit. Are you sure we don't need dex to hit anymore? They changed it in 0.2? Last season they changed the requirements for hitting for melee. Okay, so dexterity is now hitting mostly for... Okay, so I don't... Dexterity would only benefit my evasion, which I'm not going to care because I'm going to do blocking most likely, most of the time, I think. And again, do just correct me on this. So if I do adaptive capability, like let's say I want to use a bunch of blue gems, all I have is strength, I can still just use strength to satisfy the requirement for blue gem. Right? Because that's what I'm reading here. You still planning on hosting Savage Omega lobbies? Absolutely. It's just like, look, the expansion for Monster Hunter Wilds is not coming out next week. We have time to do the Omega lobbies. We will do Savage Omega lobbies, absolutely. Strength will do all the things. Okay. So, I would want this, and this. I think, I'm not sure, but this seems about right. And then I can just do whatever gems I want. So now, let me just see here. We don't actually want projectiles. We're not going to do projectiles at all. So we're starting here. It's projectile. This is attack speed. So you can go straight into attack speed. Then armor innovate. So like we'd go... To be honest, I don't know which one would be better, but like... Could go this. What is this? Projectile speed, stun build up. No. None of that. So this. We'll eventually want to go over there. And get this one. Would we want to do ailments? I do not know. So I definitely want to get some of these. I think it's like all the way over here. Has this changed? I don't remember this being ailment shenanigans. Okay, I definitely want this one. More flask recovery rate. It's pretty good. Maybe. Don't know. This is for two-handed weapons, so we don't want that. So now we would be going for like blocking and mace skills. Ooh, we can get like armor break. %, increased physical damage. Maybe something like that. Then maybe something like this. Because I plan on doing shields. This is for banners. Attack speed and accuracy rating. These are some defensive shenanigans. What else would I want to do for mace damage? Let's look for one-handed. 35% additional chance to inflict ailments. Does the shield count as a one-handed weapon? Like, that's another thing. So, like, if I go... God, I'm so scared. Please don't. Sure. Okay, it didn't explode. So if I do this... Is this a one-handed weapon? Because it says offhand physical damage. So if I have one-handed damage... I'm guessing not. I'm guessing this doesn't count as one-handed. Shield is armor, so not one-handed. Okay, so we don't want one-handed, we just want attack damage. So this node is fucking worthless to us. So we just want attack damage. What's in here? 10% increased attack damage. Attack damage really have an ally. Bleh. No, we don't want that. So it looks like attack damage nodes would be more towards the left. What do we have here? Attack damage. I remember... No, this is for leeching life. I remember that there was a node in here that I used to get. We could also get fire damage. Wasn't there a node that converts everything to fire damage? I think there was. It was somewhere around here. Yeah, Avatar of Fire. All damage gets converted to fire, and then you can just, like, get a bunch of shit to do more fire damage, but I don't know if I need that. Attack damage while surrounded. Attack damage while surrounded. Attack damage while surrounded. Allies in your presence. Bleh. Fire damage and attack damage. Yeah, that's why I wanted to do the fire damage bullshit. Attack damage. Attack damage. Gain accuracy rating equal to your strength. So we have to get this node at some point. You planning a shield build? I thought you'd go grenades this patch. I'm still considering everything. Right now I'm thinking about potentially doing a shield build. By the way, you guys can see all this, right? Yeah, you can see it. It's just the website's kind of like small. Can I not increase the zoom on this? Okay. Could be a little bit. Hopefully you guys can read it. I want to make sure that you guys are reading. Explosions are the goal, not necessarily grenades. True, if we can blow things up. It's like, I just really want a build that uses the shield properly. I feel like most people just use the shield as kind of like a stat stick. I want to use the shield in the most offensive fucking way possible. I do feel like we'll eventually end up going the fire route because we're likely going to have the fire thing. What's it called? Like if we go... Where's Spirit? We're going to have Herald of Ash. So big explosions, big fire damage. And we're also going to have Magma Barrier. Recent block chance passively imbues your shield with lava over time. When fully imbued, your next block with your shield raise will expend the lava to create an explosion, granting you an endurance charge. Has the increased block chance been something that they've added lately? Fully imbues shield in 8 seconds. This actually feels really fucking miserable. 8 seconds? Might as well be 8 years. In this game, 8 seconds. It's like, you guys remember that scene in Top Gun where they're like, oh, we can have the jets up in 5 minutes, and like, this thing will be over in 2 minutes. Get on it. It's kind of like the same thing. Fully imbues your shield in 8 seconds. Might as well say, fully imbues your shield next week. Shield go boom. Got it. Yeah. Why use GitHub Planner over PO2DB? I don't know, dude. I was just looking at this. I saw this in DS Lily's video, and I was like, oh, this looks like a good one, because it has like all the 0.5 changes and whatnot. Like, at the end of the day, I'm a noob, okay? Big noob when it comes to this game. Reduced duration might help with the 8 seconds problem. How much, though? That's the thing. I think that this character already has this, doesn't he? Let's see. Gems. Skills panel. It has magma barrier. It's got fire attunement, fire exposure, fire penetration. Fully imbues shield in 8 seconds. Let me see. Let's just take the fire attunement away. You can't even have... There's nothing here for reducing the cooldown. These are the only support gems that will work with that skill. Yes, if you shield charge, you have the shield raised, yes. That is correct. That much I knew, which is why it's another reason why I want to use the shield charge. So yeah, you can have it blow something up every 8 seconds. It's just that blowing something up every 8 seconds is like greatest defense. You'd want to rush that node. You're only showing recommended gems. Aren't these the only gems that you can have? I mean, I can do this. So choosing it only shows you the recommended ones. So let me see. If I do this, which one was it? It's not overabundance, right? No, this is... Should be a green one, though, not rapid attacks. Doesn't even work. Cadence. Support skills, 8% more attack speed. Doesn't work. Durability, electrocute, frozen spite, heightened charges, inhibitor. Momentum? No. Although, moving 2 meters during the single use of it. Wait. Hold up. Wait a minute. Can you use this with shield charge? Ayo. That sounds like fun. You move past 2 meters and boom. That sounds like it could be cool. Anyway, pin 2, second wind. Cooldown recovery rate. Does not work with magma barrier. So that one doesn't work. Ricochet augmented disruptive grenades. Cooldown recovery. Also doesn't work. Charge shots, fork, heightened accuracy, long shot, neural practiced, projectile deceleration, pierce, poison, punch through, mobility. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that can fuck with the cooldown of magma barrier. Will you use the new build following feature? I have no idea. No, I'm not using that. Compressed duration. Yeah, this doesn't work. So you can't reduce the cooldown on Magma Bear. See, this is one of the more frustrating skills for me. The fact that, like, yep, this thing works every 8 seconds. It's almost like, has anybody ever made a build around this thing only working every 8 seconds? I'm genuinely asking. I'm just curious. Because it almost seems like, why would you even do this? I've been doing it, and it's like, during the campaign it's useful. I think that during the campaign it's useful. This is how my grandmother uses her phone. Really, dude? Really? Thanks. What was I doing? Has to be long, otherwise you could just get a million endurance charges. That would be OP. Remove the endurance charge thing then. Fuck it. I don't think anybody's using this to get endurance charges. Am I wrong? Just remove the endurance charge and change the way that this thing works somehow. Make it useful. But yeah, I don't know about Magma Barrier. Because, like, if we go to all the spirit things that we can have for a build like this. Herald of Ash, of course. Do we have to activate this? Stores physical damage. Store damage grants up to 200% more. 200% more stun buildup? You can use it as a Nova Spikes. This one heals you automatically over time. Yeah. Constantly losing life. Alchemist's Boon, Eternal Rage. Eternal Rage sounds good. Just get Eternal Rage. Herald of Ash and Eternal Rage. Cast on Crit. I'm not gonna do Druid. If we end up going this route, we're going Merc. But anyway, we need attack damage, and we need block. Basically. This is what we need. Well, actually, what even is a wall? It is considered an attack. Oh, so Shield Wall also goes for the damage on the shield. And then Fortifying Cry, the War Cry. So basically I might as well use the Magma Barrier in the beginning until we get to like 100. Until we get enough spirit to actually do the other thing and enough gemstones to do the other thing. Seems reasonable. In the meantime, so attack damage. We can go for attack damage nodes over here, over here. How about just damage? Everything says damage. Apply debilitate to enemies 30 meters in front of you while your shield is raised. 100% chance to daze enemies with whose hits you block with a raised shield. That sounds like fun. Because 10% reduced movement speed penalty while actively blocking. This sounds like fun. I want to go over there eventually. How about attack speed? Wait, does attack speed even affect shield charge? Rurikhan, I feel like I'm never going to beat Monster Hunter Stories 3. I find myself just wandering around collecting heads and farming material. This doesn't seem like a problem. It just straight up does not seem like a problem. Gonna be Merkin? Yep. Interesting. So I put attack speed. This node does not get selected for some reason. That's strange. This is attack speed. Wait, where's that node with accuracy? There's a node that increases accuracy based on strength. So eventually you'll want to get here as well. You definitely want to get there. And then strength. Beef. So you want to get beef and you want to get that. What's this? Defend with 200% of your armor against critical hits, plus 15 to strength. It's totem damage. So basically we're going to be moving towards the side of the warrior tree as fast as we possibly can. We just want to get this for increased physical damage. The fuck? Okay. Hits break 30% increased armor on targets with ailments. I mean, we're going to be burning stuff, right? Most of our attacks are going to be doing fire damage, so we're going to be burning things. That's going to be an ailment. Kinda. So we could, technically speaking, just grab this. Armor and evasion rating. Rating if you've been hit recently. Where's the one that armor elemental damage? Where's the thing that transforms your armor into elemental? Wait, did they nerf that? 15% of your armor also applies to elemental damage. Holy fuck! 20% of armor also applies to elemental damage. Glory generation. So it would be good to eventually grab these nodes. So we eventually want to go there. Not necessarily through here, though. Jesus. Okay, so you can just remove that. Okay. So we'll want to go there. We'll want to go here for defensive stuff. Jesus, that is so far away, dude. That is giga far away. Unbreakable? Oh, this is unbreaking. I mean, looks good, but it's far away as fuck. No, it's not totem build. We're gonna be doing a meme build of shield charge, and then it's not going to work. Greatest defense node. Is it this one? Oh shit. It's so far away, and you're so far away from me. You're so far away from me. You're so far, I just can't see. Sorry about the notifications. I'm going to be getting rid of those right now. Like, stop! You're going to get one more, and then it's going to go away. It makes curse... Wait, this makes curses slow you more? Oh shit, I thought it was the other way around. I just assumed it was like, oh yeah, why the fuck would you want that? Fuck that. Not taking that. I'm not going for 10%. This is for allies. This is for surrounded. We eventually need to go to that one at least, the accuracy one. Can you ancestrally boost the shield wall? I know you can't ancestrally boost. Do I have ancestral boost somewhere in here? It doesn't. It was a typo and it's now fixed. Okay. So it will decrease the potency instead. I don't know, dude. I don't know. This is it looks so scuffed how far you have to go to get shit. It looks giga scuffed. I mean, if I start going this way, we definitely have to go. So, like, if we go here... God damn it, why would you do that? Just go... Why can't you still go this way? Just go this way, dude. Thank you. I'm so confused. Why are we skipping these three? Why does the game just think I can just skip these? I don't understand. Whatever. So then through there, you're saying we don't need accuracy. I still kind of wanted to get nimble strength, but regardless, we still have to end up going here. Which one's this one? Block chance, life gain when you block, 2% the maximum block. We don't have to take that one. Increased attack damage, reduced attack speed, stun buildup, and increased attack damage. Magnitude of ailments, duration, yada yada yada. I mean, this one's 50%, but it is 5% reduced attack speed, which kind of sucks, but we can make up for it by grabbing these. So we can make up for that with that speed over there. And then we'd like be halfway to the fire node, which is all the way over here. We got 123 passives. I mean, this is assuming like a level 90 something character, which it's going to take me a very long time to do. What is this? Empowered attack damage and power counted? We're likely not going to have ancestrally boosted attacks, so whatever. Or empowered. I don't even know what empowered attacks are. I remember I used to have this node, but I guess it's not as good now, maybe? 20% increased damage to enemies with fully broken armor. What is maimed? Like, what does that mean? Punctured lung. Enemies who fully armor break cannot regenerate. Enemies who fully armor break are maimed. I do not want resolute technique. I want crits. Better for him to just go Warrior Titan. I don't want to go Titan. I want to do Gemling Legionnaire to see the skill shenanigans that we can do with our little shield wombo combo. So basically we're gambling. It says Gemling Legionnaire. It's more like Gambling Legionnaire. Maime's a debuff that applies reduced move speed and reduced evasion rating. Yeah, we don't care about Maime then. Probably will want that. Do not want that. And so this is going to be doing fire damage, so we'd want to see, okay, what else can we do with fire then? 10% fire resistance, 15% increased effect of fully broken armor. Fully broken armor you also inflict, also increases fire damage taken from hits. That actually sounds like pretty fun. But we'll have to fully break the armor. At the end of the day, we also definitely need to get this. What's this one? Heat proof. 30% reducive fire damage. Wasn't there a node that makes it so that every damage you take is fire damage? Or is that from Smith of Katava? That might be a Smith of Katava thing. It's probably a Smith of Katava thing. No, Avatar Fire is just to convert all of your damage to fire. What I meant is damage that you receive. It's going to be a bit of a struggle to get all these goddamn nodes. Because we're going to have to go here at some point. Not exactly sure how we're going to get there. We'll also want to get some of these, I would imagine. %2 damage is extra fire damage per endurance charge. We're not going to be consuming endurance charges, most likely. Molten Being is 5% fizz damage taken as fire. No, that's not what I want. It must have been a Smith of Katava thing. What's this? Why is it glowing? Oh, because I selected it. Never mind. No, this is not the one we want. The one we want is this one. Armor also. So that's the language they're using. What the fuck? Isn't that what it says here? Armor also. Guess not. Fuck you. So I have to go for elemental damage. That's the way to identify the nodes that give me. I thought there were more nodes that did this armor applied to elemental damage. I guess I was wrong. And there's also a node in here that transforms all of your evasion into armor. Fuck! Did they move this? I feel like this was closer. This is so far away. No, I'm just... Sheesh. This is not looking feasible. This is not looking feasible. We're gonna be getting dicked on defenses at this point. This one I think is doable. I don't want glory generation though. Glory generation is for that hammer thing. Alright. Why would I want glory? I mean, I guess I could use Forge Hammer every now and then. It's like... Wait, is glory for Forge Hammer or for Hammer of the Gods? It's for Hammer of the Gods. It's not even for Forge Hammer. It's for Hammer of the Gods. So I could get glory generation. I don't think there's a skill I'd want to use with glory, so... I'm not thinking about the dunking shield, Gorksella. That's not the point. The point is that we're going to be doing a shield charge build. As someone who knows absolutely nothing about this, it's absolutely feasible. You must believe in the heart of the cards. Yeah, sure. That's exactly what we're going to do. Smith of Katava has 25 fizz damage taken as fire. Yeah, exactly. Magma Barrier gives you endurance charge. I know, but I don't really have... I don't think any of the things that I want to use endurance charge. So, like, Fortifying Cry does not use endurance charges. If anything, it likely generate... If anything, it would probably generate them. Also, I haven't looked at what Shield Wave does. Modifiers to damage with War Cries. Ooh! If I can get some War Cry damage, Fortifying Cry can deal a bit more damage, but... I doubt that there's like a War Cries node. Let's see. Well, actually, this is close. 40% increased damage with War Cries. War Cries empower an additional attack. So wait, my attacks are going to be empowered. Can you empower the shield bash thing? Cacophony actually sounds like it'd be fun. We'll do that. We'll do that one. What are these? This is for Axe, Giant's Blood. Considering that we're going to have the thing where we don't need other stats, we could just stack strength. Don't the nodes next to beef also just give you fuckloads of strength? These give 8 strength. Wasn't there another strength thing? It looks like they might have changed that. I thought there was like a strength node close to beef that gave like a bunch of 10 strengths and whatnot. So we could potentially do this for more strength. We could... No! No! You fucking ruined! You ruined it! Son of a bitch. I still don't know why it's letting me skip some nodes. It's weird. Fuck. Where was this going? I think through here, and then here, I guess. Oh yeah, I was getting this one. Any of the Warcry skills use endurance charges? Oh, I don't really use Warcries all that much, so I'm not too knowledgeable about them. Wasn't I going here, I guess? Heavy drinker. We can get more stun build up. I'm assuming this shield does a lot of stun. I know, like this one, and there's also these ones that are pretty good. But right now I was still thinking about offensive stuff that I need. So we'll probably end up going Avatar Fire, I guess. It's just that really pushes us into the fire territory. How am I going to get all the way over here? First we need to get this. What's this? Life recovery rate. Melee critical hit chance. I mean, the shield bash is melee damage. Fuck, see, this is the thing. Motherfucker. I go attack damage, melee damage. There's a couple more here, I guess. 25% increased armor if you hit an enemy with a melee attack. This is a nice little set of nodes. But we'd have to immobilize them. Does heavy stun count as immobilizing? No need for Avatar Fire unless you're going full fire. It's just, we're going this way. I could just not go this way. And not get these rage nodes and go to beef through the other side. That could be a thing that we do. So like, if we were to go... What is this? Armor? Oh! Let's get some increased armor. Along the way. We can't go this way. This is like totems, right? We don't want totems. It's just this is more efficient than going through the fire nodes because you spend less skill points. Then we'd go this way. Then if we don't go Avatar Fire, we still go this way. We can still go get Giant's Blood, and then there's like a big shield thing here that we can get. Maximum block chance, you cannot be light stunned. Apply debilitate to enemies 30 meters in front of you while your shield is raised. That's the thing, I just don't know which skills would synergize with the things that I want. So you could get this one because we're just stacking strength. Where's beef? We can get the other strength nodes from beef. If we don't go Avatar of Fire. Oh, right. This is the one that also gives you more strength if you just stack strength. Ooh, 30% of your armor also applies to lightning damage. Is there... How many more of these are there for armor? So this one's for lightning damage. This one's just for elemental damage. Where would cold damage be? Cold damage would be here, so this is doable. Then fire damage. Is it this one? Fire damage. So these are actually reasonably close together once you get to this node. And then... So lightning damage, fire damage, cold damage, chaos damage. That's not... Ah! Fuck you, game! I see your tricks. Okay, but let's say we would do that. So we do shockproof. Then we do tempered defenses. Then we do... Is it this one? Chillproof. And then we do... Where's fireproof? Is this one? Heatproof. Then we're at 81 passives. Fuck. Okay, no more defensive nodes. That's it. That's what you get. Problem is we have too much armor. Not too much armor. We have too much evasion at that point. At that point, well, to be honest, no. Because I can just equip armor that gives armor. Yeah, and just take a dump on the evasion. We just get 20% increased armor from this. There. We didn't even touch the evasion, so I don't need to go get this stupid-ass node. We just get, like, big, beefy fucking armor. If we go in shield build, go for the node that rage also gives you increased armor. Rage increased armor. Current loss of rage 20%. So I would imagine it'd be a big notable. Vengeful Fury. The day we learn. Fuck, that's far away, dude. That is a bit far. That's a bit far for us. A little bit expensive for our blood. How about blocking stuff? It's time to start getting more blocking nodes. And deflection rating equals 12%. Increased block chance. Increased parry debuff magnitude. I'd love to get this one, but... I just need damage nodes at this point. Prism Guard? Holy shit. Yeah, I want that actually. Yeah, I want that. Increase it even more, just become immune. Oh, the unique jewel. Never mind. For a second, I thought you were talking about a node. But that's enough defenses. Increase block chance, life gain when you block. Get this one. Because, like, block chance automatically gives me increased damage as well. Or of Guardian. What the... How is 30% increased block chance all the way over here, bro? Fuck that. I'm not going there. Fuck you. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit is what that is. Might as well get these two. It's not counted as, how about attack damage? Okay, there's a couple of more attack damage nodes we can grab. These are for empowered, right? No, ancestrally boosted. So you can get attack damage. This is for allies. Empowered attacks. Attack damage, glory generation. I don't want glory generation. What's this one? Attack damage on low life. Empowered attacks deal 30%. Okay, so this one's kind of like... I think I'll just get that one. Now, I do know that there's some cool blocking nodes here. Yes, we want this. Block chance, block chance, block chance. Attack skills deal 10% while holding a shield. Yes! 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 This is where our damage is coming from. And likely the last 20... Like, what level do I have to be to get 108 passives? What level do we have to be to get to this point? Assuming that I did all of the optional quests and all of that bullshit. It doesn't tell you, does it? Why mercenary class? Because we're gonna do Gemling Legionnaire for shenanigans on the gems, and we're gonna hope for the best. 85? Okay. Didn't I take greatest defense? Isn't it one of these? Yeah. I was gonna get that one. What's this? Powered attacks. War cries have 15% chance to empower 3 additional attacks. I think I'll take this one as well. Why not? Fuck it. So 88. I think 88 is like a good stopping point. So I want you guys to tell me, does this seem like a good idea? Guys, does this seem like a good idea? What's battle fever? Did I pick it up already? Oh, it's fever. Nearby is a bit of a stretch, but yeah, we can make that work. But at this point, you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 93. Yeah. We'd have to make some sacrifices for that one. We'd have to make some sacrifice for that one. I would likely want to maybe get rid of this. No, because this is 12% block chance. We can get rid of maybe these two. So that's going to be like 91. I think 91 is doable. So we wait on those. Also, we don't need this. I'm not really doing armor break. We're likely not going to be doing armor break, so I can get rid of this. Did I make notes for armor break? I did. But this one also comes with 25% increased physical damage, so it's whatever. But we don't have to specifically go for this one, since we are likely not going to be dealing fire damage. So we don't need that one. It's going to be like 4. So that we're like back to 88, 89, something like that. Yeah, I think this is doable. It's more like this will be awful to go through the campaign with. Here's the thing. I like the campaign. Unlike a lot of people in the community, which I've noticed that don't like the campaign is actually my favorite part of the game. Like, no joke. I have more fun doing the campaign than when we get to maps. I know that for a lot of people, they get to maps and they're like, now the game's like really fun. Now I get to maps and I'm like, oh. I feel like I'm the reverse. Like, I'm more excited of going through the campaign than getting to maps. I meant if this is not fun at low levels. I don't know. Vengeful Fury is much closer. Vengeful Fury. Yeah, it is. What is this? 5 rage. When hit by an enemy, every rage grants 1% increased armor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 nodes. I will save that one for last. So basically this would be our basis, and then I can get like Vengeful Rage later. If I'm able to level up that much. Blade Fury? What's Blade Fury? I don't see Blade Fury. So the problem we're going to have... Blade Flurry? Still... Blade Furry? No, we're not dual wielding. We're doing shields. We're gonna have a shield. Blade Furry. What skills are you looking at using? Shield Charge, Shield Wall, and Fortified Warcry. It's like, even saying it out loud is so bad. Even saying it out loud, you're like, oh, so you're special, aren't you? You're just so fucking special. You're a special little snowflake, aren't you? Shield Charge? You fucking moron. Fuck do you mean, Shield Charge? Shield and weapon counts as dual wielding. What? Sounds like what a Gunlance user would say. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that shield would count as dual wielding. And I'm not taking that note. So we're likely just gonna do this. We'll probably even use totems in the beginning, because like totems are just so good for safety. Shield wall pops off. I know that shield wall pops off. I'm saying shield charge. I think that shield charge is going to be fucking stupid. I think that shield charge is going to be really fucking stupid. I think it's going to be dumb. I think shield charge is going to be giga dumb. But you know, it is what it is. I can get some more attack speed out of here too. I can get like 3% more attack speed to make up for that 5% that we're going to be losing. So I'll probably get that attack speed a little bit earlier. We probably should get the attack speed nodes ASAP. Although to be honest, the first node that I want to get is this one. Life recovery rate. That sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Can I save this somewhere? Where would I... Oh, import, edit, new build. No, wait. I don't want to do a new build. I want to save this one. Where do you save this thing? Edit. My build. Yes. Breweries. Dumb. Build. Export. Can I just import this into the game? Did this thing just made one of those guide things? That'll be great. Made to last? Depends on where that thing is. Oh, I remember this one. Ooh. Increased armor, life regenerate. Yeah, this is good. Could probably do that too. I'm copying your build. If it fails, I'm blaming you. The last thing you should do is copy anything that I do. Okay? The last thing you should do is copy literally anything that I do in this game. It's going to be bad for you. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Now you do you, my guy. That's all I'm going to say about that. So anyway, there's a couple of videos that I want to check out. There's some new stuff in the Path of Exile.
First change. This is
Wait, stop! Stop, DM. I also wanted to see what... DM made a video that says these 2 new major changes will impact you. I'm curious as to what those are. Let me actually cut the game volume.
is actually real.
By the way, let me link the video. Make sure to check it out. Hit the like button. Do the shenanigans. I think my build might be the exact opposite of yours, so I'm going to be fine. Yes. Yes, you are.
First change. This is actually really massive and will have an impact on you. Lesser, greater, and perfect jeweler orbs can now be used on items with skills on them to increase the number of sockets on the item's granted skill. Using the jeweler orb on items with multiple skills will affect all skills on that item. This is referencing...
I've never even had I don't think I've ever had a unique item that had unique skills.
to things like this. So if
see, DM, you said this was going to affect me. This is never going to affect me because I'm never going to get an item with skills, so I don't have to worry about it.
At this one, it says grant skill level 17 volatile undead. If you look, I only have 4 sockets. Well, this isn't tied to level. For instance, like your basic attack would be on a weapon. Instead, this is tied to the skill level. It would require a level 20 skill level of the unique to have the 5th socket. But now, because of this change, this means you just use a jeweler orb on it like you would with...
Come to think of it, I've never even had a perfect jeweler's orb, so I'm most definitely never going to have this issue. Problem solved.
Any other skill. Really big change for you because previously level 20 skill items could be very expensive depending upon the item, and that was where the value was tied. This was a change that they implemented due to feedback received during the podcast I did with my co-host Ghazi. We directly talked to the devs. Ghazi asked this question. It was a personal pain point for him. He says, why can't we just have a way of getting these 5 socket skills a lot easier? They're very gate kept and also make uniques even worse because you really do have to have that 5th socket, or else you're losing the whole support gym. So Jonathan said, you know what, I'll look into this one. I think we can just make this better. And they went and added the perfect jeweler. So really big deal. Will have a nice impact, particularly if you're not somebody that has a lot of currency to spend on the utmost, most perfect uniques, and will make other uniques you use maybe while leveling, etc., be able to be more usable. If you want to be able to focus on using a unique to level, maybe one that has a skill that you just don't normally would use, because when you get the other jeweler orbs, you can't really level them, etc. So this is actually just a really nice change across the board and should help in a bunch of scenarios. All right, second change. All crafted modifiers are now guaranteed, but items can only have 1 crafted modifier at a time. Desecrated modifiers no longer count as crafted modifiers, but items are limited to 1 desecrated modifier. Now, this is actually going to have a fairly enormous impact to crafting due to the way essences work. Previously, what could happen is you would get like a magic martial weapon, for instance, and you could slam something like attack speed, or if it had physical percentage, you could slam like an abrasion essence, and you could get like a good amount of flat physical, and then you could slam on some exalts and the suffixes, and then you could slam on something like a essence of battle here to get plus to levels, and then maybe you could slam on like a perfect haste to get a chance to gain onslaught, and you could actually like fill out some suffixes like pretty decently. You could get 2 guaranteed or 3 pretty good suffixes, and then there's other essences you can even slam for prefixes as well. So normally what would happen is you would enter maps and you could get yourself just a decent earlier mid-tier item like this one, for instance. I would just have like a hybrid physical percentage, and I could slam like a physical on it, slam a +3 to attack level, and then put on the Abyss craft as well, and then you got yourself something like kind of pretty solid. But now you can only have 1 craft and modifier. Now this is kind of a major nerf. But more so for me, it's a little bit confusing because it's a little bit counter to like the journey of an item. Normally you would have this item, you would take it, you would put it into like one of these league mechanics, like maybe you would essence it or something, and then you would put it into like a new league mechanic, then you put it into another one, and then eventually maybe you do like the socket thing with the new Rune Forge or wherever the new one's really going to be like, and then you use your Abyssal here. This is like the Abyssal well, and then your quality, you do the quality and everything, and then your final step here is Vol or Venator Sanctifying or whatnot. But basically the point I'm making here is you'd have this journey of an item. That's kind of like a very classic Path of Exile, 1 and 2 thing. It's very just synonymous with Path of Exile. You kind of have this item, and you go on a journey of crafting the item, and then eventually you have this item. But because you can only have 1 craft and modifier, then it's like, okay, you pick one of these to do, and then you do the last steps. Like it's a little confusing as to why they would choose to go. So now I have a theory, okay? And to be fair, right now, it's kind of like you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this, because this one's essences, and you're essencing like 3 of the 6 stat lines, or sometimes more of these stat lines, and it's just, very confusing as to making an item is not really a journey. You're just slamming a bunch of fucking essences. So maybe that was like one thing that they decided, okay, but I have one other theory. Maybe what they're doing is, if we run into a circumstance like the essence thing that they think is just really strong, maybe what they're doing is they're using this term crafted modifier to kind of be able to have a pool and be able to nerf certain things. So if there's problematic crafts or stuff they think is too strong, they can throw it under the tag of crafted modifier, and then make it where you can only have like 1 of these types of crafts, and then they can have things like desecrated modifiers or whatever other kind of crafts that they're having with another league mechanic have another tag. Maybe like Rune Forging is going to have a Rune Forging tag or something like that. It's not really like crafted modifiers. I still think this is weird. I mean, just to be honest, if like essences are a problem, or we have other type of crafting that is a problem, why not just nerf those? Why not just have this be like crafts can only have 1 essence or something, if that's really truly the problem? Because I understand this part's kind of like weird, and like, people are slamming a lot of essences on an item. It just seems a little like, a little strong, very strong for early the mid-game progression as well. Maybe they don't want people to get so strong so early in the maps with just slamming essences right out of the campaign. I would understand that logic if it was broken down, but it's not really broken down in the stat line. So instead, it just reads as kind of a very like Path of Exile type of change, very ham-fisted. No, you will only craft 1 modifier, kind of like a crafting bench from the original Path of Exile 1, right? You have a crafting bench, you can only craft 1 thing unless you have a meta craft that lets you craft multiple things at once. And that maybe is another thing. Maybe they want to introduce meta crafts, where it's like now you can craft 3 crafting multipliers by having the meta craft, and maybe that'll open up things like divine sinks and all these other things. So they could have something down the road. It's kind of hard to tell, because when you read this, it only really reads as like they don't like essences. That's basically what it kind of reads as, or maybe the new type of crafting that we don't really, have too much information on yet. Maybe the new type of crafting is just really, really strong, and they foresee an issue that they have to have this as like a pre-nerf to crafting. It could be something like that. It remains to be seen. But overall, this change is just a little like, it feels very Path of Exile to me. But the implementation for you guys is effectively that your early to mid game weapons, if you get a good one, they're going to be worth more. It doesn't really change like the mirror crafting at a higher level. Like people are still going to spam a whole bunch of like annuls and slamming and doing all these things they need to get the mirror. It doesn't really change like the higher end. Okay, but the early to mid game crafts and your early to mid game attack, damage type of weapons are definitely eating a nerf. Anyway, that's 2 changes that were added after the patch notes that did not really have posts around them, so I thought I would break them down. I'll be live now if you want to come by the live stream. We're going to talk about like the top builds that are probably coming to the game, or that will be on the league start launch, like the ones people are going to play, etc. Just kind of do some yapping. So I'll see you guys in the live.
All right, that was interesting. I'm not overly concerned about crafting at this point in the journey. Do make sure to check out the video, give it a like, do the usual shenanigans. Really like DM's videos. Let's have a look at some of this stuff here. I feel like there are so many videos that I've kind of like forgotten some of the stuff since the reveal. We're going to be watching some of these. I guess we start with the hand cannon. Like I almost wanted to have the hand cannon. Wait, it just says grenade launchers. It doesn't even say about the shield. Hopefully I'll try doing some breach to see if we can get this shield. I think that would be really interesting for the build, but I don't want the build to be dependent on this shield. That's the thing.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile. Today, we'd like to showcase 2 new unique items. First, Nightfall, a shield.
It bothers me that it's got a chaos-looking eyeball on it. I'm not a big fan of that. Not to mention, wouldn't that eye get hurt if you're constantly slamming the shield down into the ground and into people's faces? That eye is going to be like permanently closed, right? You're just like bashing people with this shield and bashing it in the ground. And then there's like a little fleshy, gelatinous blob over there in the middle. It's weird.
Of the Breachlord tool herself. And then Redemption, a Trathan weapon of absolute destruction.
Like this is an absolute beauty. This is an absolute beauty. See, this is another thing that is actually really cool about us playing a mercenary. I can just get to a point where I'm like, you know what? Maybe we'll just play grenades instead.
These are both being added in Return of the Ancients. Tull ruled her frozen, barren wasteland with an eye cast outward to worlds beyond. She wanted more for her brood, and being the formidable breachlord that she is, she waged war to get what she wanted.
Look at that. That's gorgeous.
Nightfall gives you the opportunity to wage war like a breachlord. Using Soaring Midnight, you throw the shield outward. If you do nothing, it will return to you. However, using the skill again while the shield is airborne will teleport you to the shield and slam it down for ultimate devastation. Catching the shield or destroying ice crystals will reset the cooldown, allowing you, in the right condition, to become an avalanche yourself. Now another unique, Redemption.
Look at this.
This is certainly no ordinary weapon. It specializes in all things.
Cannot load or fire ammunition. Increased physical damage with this weapon. Hits with this weapon have no critical damage bonus. 22% reduced cooldown recovery rate. Gain 1 explosive rhythm every 2 times use grenade skill. Remove all explosive rhythms on reaching 10 to gain explosive fervor for 10 seconds.
Things that go boom. This weapon was created during the peak of the Trathan Wars and wielded by none other than Ratha Azadi herself. It was designed specifically for her to send a message. Never again would a rival house doubt the ferocity of House Azadi. This modified crossbow cannot use normal ammunition skills, but is particularly effective at leveraging various grenades to demonstrate your explosive rhythm. That's because this isn't really even a crossbow at all. In fact, we've made an entirely new base type for this unique, which you can find in in-game and craft to be a rare item too, including having a more grenade-oriented mod pool.
Redemption guaranteed.
Armed with Redemption, and once you have caused enough trouble,
Oh, how'd you like this?
you're ready to unleash explosive fervor.
15% increased attack speed per different grenade skill you've used recently. Causes grenade skills to ignore their cooldown, fire an additional projectile, and makes grenades explode on any impact. You cannot gain explosive rhythm while you have explosive fervor.
which causes you to ignore the typical cooldowns of grenade skills, on top of dramatically increasing their fire rate if you fire a medley of grenades, allowing you to go on an actual rampage, obliterating everything in sight.
See, this is just absolutely glorious. This has these two skills. This video was like made for me. So you can have the big shield slam skill, or you can have the big grenade skill. You know?
Hit the dirt!
You'll be able to find Nightfall and Redemption as in-game unique items in Return of the Ancients. Join us for the release of Return of the Ancients on May 29th. Thanks for watching.
They should have just added guns instead of crossbows. I mean, technically speaking, that crossbow can also be a machine gun. It can be a machine gun, can be a grenade launcher, can be all of these things. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. Spirit Walker. This is the one that kind of like has bosses and whatnot. I'm not playing this one, so we don't need to look at that one. I like the SmackDown thing though. This is for the streamlining of the campaign. We already know there's going to be hints for stuff that you do the campaign.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile. Today, we'd like to showcase 2 more unique items. First up we have the Auspex, an attire to drive your foes mad with. And then, a remake of a Path of Exile 1 classic, Facebreaker, which provides a variety of ways to bring the ultimate beatdown on your enemies.
Seems like it could be interesting.
These are both coming in Return of the Ancients. In ancient times, a lost child was taken in by an Asmeri village. The Auspex of the village declared him an ill omen, as their crops soured and their days darkened. Thereafter, ravens gathered and mists descended, following him, driving him deeper and deeper into madness.
It was
Harness
his fault.
that madness and become the Auspex yourself. Summon a singular Mist Raven, a minion that will ravage your foes and kill enemies. The Mist Raven has a unique command skill, which causes it to dive at your targets, shattering reality and creating an explosion of madness. Enemies killed by the Mist Raven will also grant you frenzy charges, giving the Raven extra utility. The Mist Raven also causes enemies in your presence to gain grueling madness, a slowing debuff that empowers your other slows to be even more potent. Finally, the Auspex also makes your deflect chance lucky while you're on low life. It seems the Mist Raven does a good job of instilling fear in your enemies. Next up we have Facebreaker.
It's the Akuma item.
The
You just
Ezamites
become
and
Akuma.
Eternal Empire have a bloody history. Some enjoyed the thrill of battle a little more than others. Follow in the footsteps of the Red Wolf with his legendary gloves. While equipped and your hands are empty, you can use all mace skills with just your fists.
Weak.
This is the ultimate SmackDown unique.
Got you.
As you progress through the campaign, you too can collect teeth of enemies you've pulverized. As you break their faces, you can track the bosses you've
Each boss encounter icon in the world screen is a face which can be broken by beating the encounter. Rare monster encounter do not provide any bonuses when broken.
smashed on your map, with each granting you added physical damage. Facebreaker provides offensive and defensive benefits for stacking up strength, so you can become a true face-breaking powerhouse.
Leave it for me.
I mean, just check this out. Hammer of the Gods? How about Fist of the Gods?
I love the fact that they changed the actual thing that comes down.
You'll be able to torment minds with the Auspex and break faces with Facebreaker as unique items in Return of the Ancients.
This one, the Facebreaker thing is also really cool, but I'm more interested in the other two. I'm way more interested in the other two. Oh, we've seen this one, this one, this one, this one. Let's look at the Breach rework.
When you first do a breach in the endgame, you will find Aelith, one of the keepers of the flame, an ancient order of monks.
Because the thing is, I'll have to do Breach. I don't want to. This is the thing that bothers me. I don't want to do Breach. Okay? I need you guys to understand. The second I hit maps my ideal scenario is like, we're going to the ocean, boys. We're leaving all this behind. We're going to the ocean. Can't do that. Have to do breach. See if I can get that Nightfall shield.
Dedicated to preventing the Hiveborn from entering the world. As you seem to be a keen slayer of demons, Aelith would like to recruit you to the Order and asks that you travel to their monastery to the south.
So
On
breach
the
is
way
gonna be
there,
to
you'll
the
start
south.
to encounter more breaches, and will notice one of the first changes to the breach mechanic. You still have to kill monsters as fast as you can to keep the breach open, but now you can visibly see how much time you have left to keep it open, and how each kill extends its duration.
That's a
Once
very
you've
good
reached the
change.
monastery, you will learn more about the Keepers. In the 25 years since the events of Keepers of the Flame in Path of Exile 1,
Good morning, Deeks.
the war with the Hiveborn has not gone well, and they have managed to establish a foothold.
That's the point of trade. Do what you want. Trade stuff for what you don't want. It's like, I suck at playing markets. I know that there's a lot of people that play PoE that you guys are amazing at markets. Markets have always been my weakest point when it comes to online games. I sucked at the World of Warcraft auction house. I was fucking terrible at it. Like, most of my friends would have bazillions of gold, and I'd be like, I don't know, man. Fuck that. I just want to play the game. So the whole market aspect of it makes me miserable. That's actually one of the reasons why I play SSF. Because whenever I'm playing the game, I remember this from the first league, the when the game came out, and I wasn't playing solo self-found or anything like that. I remember every time that I would get, what's the one thing that's mostly used in currency? I forget. Is it the Exalt? I think it's the Exalt, right? At least it was back then, whatever. Every time I'd get an Exalt, I'd be like, I'm never using this on an item. Never. You would just not use it on an item. Why? Because you can go to the market, trade the Exalt for a better item than the item that you already have. I don't like that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I think there's a lot of people that prefer it that way because they can just like, yep, one Exalt, trade that item, good to go. I fucking hate it. I play these games to get the loot and to fucking engage with the systems. And I find that trade removes a lot of those systems for me. So I would never slam items with Exalts because there was never any reason to most of the time. Yeah.
In the world nearby. A gigantic area has fallen to the Scourge, and the Keepers are unable to get inside. Inside the monastery is the Genesis Tree, a powerful asset to the war effort, stolen from the enemy and gifted to the Keepers by the Dreamer himself.
How do you
Using
steal
the
a tree?
Aelith could create a breach stone and penetrate the Hiveborn foothold, but without Hive Blood, the tree has withered. To get Hive Blood, you will need to take advantage of another new mechanic of breach. If you can keep the otherworldly portal open for long enough, the breach will stabilize and will
Bro,
enter a new
I gotta be real, bro. I always see them in these videos do this shit with Warrior. I can't do this. Like this that we're seeing right
and
here.
penetrate the Hiveborn foothold.
On a high level, I've never been able to
But
do
without
this.
Hive Blood, the tree has withered.
Like, look at this. This thing of being just like a fucking badass, hammer slamming warrior, just like,
get
look at
Hive Blood,
it,
you will need to
destroying
take advantage-
everything, maxing out the... Never. I don't know, man. Skill issue. I'm not even joking. Probably is skill issue, but it's just like, I've
Of another new
never
mechanic
done
of
it.
breach.
Like, look at him just go.
If you can keep
He's
the
not even
otherworldly
losing any
portal open
health.
for long enough,
It's like,
the
yep,
breach will
fuck you,
stabilize
fuck
and
this
will enter
guy,
a new phase.
fuck these people, ancestrally
The Hiveborn
boosted,
will send their
fucking
toughest
rolling
miscreations
slam
to
at the
defeat
speed of
you,
light, eat a
and the
dick,
breach will never
boom.
close until you can
I'm like, how do you make this build, dude? What the fuck? The whole clip is how long it usually takes to do a mace skill. Yeah.
annihilate them, dropping Hive Blood that you can use to
Like,
restore
look at him
the Genesis
go!
tree.
Like, what the fuck?
In some cases, you may even attract one of the deadliest foes the Hiveborn can offer, a Marshal of Zesht. These monsters also drop womb gifts, and if you take these to the Genesis tree, they can be used to craft items to help you in the war against the Hiveborn. Given that 25 years have passed since the beginning of the war, the tree
How to go about it. Start by following a guide before making your own builds. I'm going to say in no uncertain terms, okay? This might be a little bit controversial. This is exactly how I feel, though. If you absolutely need to follow a guide before you play the game to be able to do what they're showing you on these videos, that's a skill issue. but not on the player's part. Calling them like it is. That a lot of people are not going to agree with that one. I agree that you should have to earn it, but you should have to earn it with information that you get by playing the game.
It has grown and withered many times, but with each cycle it learns and expands its abilities. When you first open the Genesis tree, you will notice these holes into which you can place your womb gifts. Each womb gift can be used to create a different type of jewelry and must be fertilized with hive blood. So for example,
they added in-game builds. Anyone too dense to make a build can use that now. The thing is, you're not actually... The in-game builds, you're going to it's the same thing as following a build outside the game. Because you have to go outside the game, get the build file, put it in the game, and then, then you're doing the build that somebody else did, which is pretty much the same as me watching a video on a build and then copy-pasting that into the game, kind of.
You can place this amulet womb gift into the tree, and it will give birth to a random rare amulet. But the Genesis tree is capable of much more. As you continue to feed the tree, its branches will regenerate and allow you more and more control over what kind of items it will birth. So for example, this branch of the tree will allow you to control which base types of amulets can be birthed. And as you go deeper, it will even allow you to create new base types that you can't get anywhere else. Like this one, which gives you an entire spirit skill for free. Or this one, which has a rune socket in it. To the left and right are branches that will let you control which mods the amulet can get, including making sure that they're higher level, or controlling which specific mods that they will always have. With 15 points to allocate, you will have to choose wisely how you want to specialize your crafts, but it's worth noting that this tree doesn't have any cost to respecking it. You can enable or disable the nodes at any time by clicking on them.
That's a good thing.
On rings, we've also added some really interesting new crafting options as well. You have a bunch of new base types like these, but you also have entire new classes of mods that can be added. The right-hand branch of the ring tree adds an entire new set of caster mods to rings. From basics like extra elemental damage for spells, or more niche options like this mod that increases the rate you gain seals for Unleash. And on the left-hand side, you can unlock an entire new set of mods for minion characters. This stuff is actually pretty important, because casters and minion builds didn't have as many slots with interesting item crafting compared to attack builds. The Genesis tree narrows that gap. There are also trees for belts and currency.
Angry Scott's dad, my problem with all games like PoE 2 is I go for what skills I think looks cool, does below optimal damage but looks badass, sign me up. See, that's one of the things that I'm just thinking about even my own build. I think that the shield charge build looks badass. I also think that there's a reason why nobody actually uses that skill seriously in maps, at least that I'm aware. I could be wrong. I don't necessarily follow every single build out there, but I don't think that people usually use the shield charge skill because it is very much a suboptimal skill. I kind of think in the ideal world, you can have any skill be viable, but the reality is in the current world that exists for Path of Exile, you usually have like a couple of skills that are just going to be way better than 90% of other skills. That seems to be the way that it goes. And that's unfortunate because, you want to have that build variety. You want to be able to no, I like this skill. I want to make a build that is all about this skill, but it doesn't work.
I won't go over them too.
With knowledge, any skill is viable. Do you think that I will be able to do a build like the build that I want to do, which we're going to try? Do you think that my build is going to be able to do, really heavy duty maps with fucking shield charge? I don't expect that. Were you going for solo self-found? I always do solo self-found, QQ.
Too much here, but there are all sorts of goodies in these too. like being able to create new catalysts for jewels.
Shield wall, yeah. Shield charge, yeah. See, that's the thing. Because you just said with skill, anything can become, right? With knowledge, any skill is viable. And I just said, okay, shield charge. And you're like, shield charge is not bad with shield wall. It's like saying a firecracker is not terrible so long as you have a stick of dynamite next to it. You know what I mean? I bet you could do some real damage with that firecracker if you throw it on a stick of dynamite. You can 100% clear tier 15 maps with anything, just have to build properly. Can you clear tier 15 maps with only shield charge? By the way, I'm not doubting that you can. I guess I am doubting that you can, to be honest, though. I'm not doubting that it's not possible, but I'm very hesitant to just accept that at face value.
Or a belt that gives lightning damage.
The knowledge is that skill isn't good. The knowledge part is you don't build shield charge because that's dumb. There you go. It is viable, just not as a focal point of a build. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, right?
Once you've done,
Wasn't there a guy who did shield charge monk some leagues ago? I think he did tier 15 maps in Arbiter. Okay. I'm hoping I can get some stuff with it. We'll see.
enough breach encounters, you may finally get a womb gift capable of birthing a breach stone. And you can then use it on the Hiveborn incursion. Once used, the true extent of the Breach Demon's foothold becomes clear. They have not only transformed the land, but constructed huge sky hives as well. When you enter the outskirts of their realm, you will discover breach hives. Using the power of the Keepers of the Flame, these otherworldly structures can be burned away when walking through them. But for each one destroyed, more of the Hiveborn will attack when you attempt to purge the hive.
I love that skill.
These encounters are particularly rewarding for womb gifts, so you'll want to do as many of these as you can.
The friggin'
But your
hammer
real
drop
goal
thing?
are the sky
So
hives
much
deeper
fun.
into the domain. These twisted creations are securing the demon's entry into our world. Inside the very center are the Breach Lords Tool and Ash, and you will need to defeat them if you want to get rid of the foothold once and for all. Now, once you've completed the questline version, there is still more to do. You will find other breach domains on the Atlas randomly in your travels. For each one, you will need to find a breach stone, destroy the sky hives, and defeat the Breach Lords. And doing these encounters is what will give you access to fight Zesht, the existing Breach Pinnacle boss, which you can access by communing with the Dreamer himself inside the monastery. While completing the questline for Breach, you will also be gaining points for the Breach Atlas tree, and there are a lot of cool new options here. This node will cause breach hives to spawn outside of the hive.
I'm so confused. How do people prepare for League? Do you just test the build that you will be playing? No, I'm mostly just doing research. I'm doing research, and I'm also going to be playing a little bit just to see what the start of the game is going to feel like with that build. And just to also get my muscle memory back, because unlike a lot of other creators that just do mostly Path of Exile, I don't play Path of Exile all the time. So that means that muscle memory is going to be in the gutter. And one of the things that I remember is that whenever a league starts, I would go in cold. And going in cold is, you know, you're still adapting to like getting your muscle memory back from playing the game months ago. And it's just frustrating as a streamer because you're going to be trying to figure shit out in real time and at the same time trying to interact with chat. So I'm just trying to internalize all of that shit ahead of time to make sure that when we do start playing, which by the way, I am likely not starting on Friday, My wife has this dinner thing that she wants me to go to with some of her friends and whatnot. So I have to go do that. And then this weekend, I have a Kill Team tournament, which, by the way, was scheduled months ago. So if GGG would have been more considerate and, you know, maybe announce things in proper time, I'm joking. It is what it is. But basically, I have a conflicting schedules with the actual start of the league. So we're likely only going to be starting on Monday. And then Monday, I'm probably going to play like just all day, have a blast. So you guys get to watch like all the good streamers play first. And then you're like, all right, let's see what the Portuguese dumbass is doing Monday morning, right? You guys are at your job and you're like, you know, we've seen the blasters. Now let's see the idiot. Let's see the town's fool and see how he's playing the damn game. Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing.
Hiveborn domains on the Atlas. And this one will give Aelith additional abilities that you can use while
Did
attacking.
they mention anything about being able to swap between controllers and mouse seamlessly? They did. You're not getting it. That's what they said. It's only something that us poor control players, you know, it's like that meme of the, you know, the fountain of water, and there's a really fat guy at the end of it just like drinking all the water. The fat guy is the mouse and control and the mouse and keyboard players. They're the fat guy that's just like drinking all the water. Then the little droplets is the controller player below. Can I have just a smidgen, please? Please. I just want to be able to use the mouse every now and then while I'm playing with my controller. No! You get nothing! Fucking 4 leagues in! We are 4 leagues in. We can't get seamless mouse, keyboard, and controller, dude. It's like, what the fuck? Log out, bitch! That's what you get. You get to log the fuck out!
A hive. Like this one, which causes all Hiveborn in the next wave to be magic.
Mark stole the guy working on it for the fragment tab. Yeah, something like that. And I'm just like, bro, fuck your fragment tabs. Fuck your stash tabs. I want to use the mouse.
Drastically increasing their difficulty in exchange.
The issue is mouse and keyboard is better, but by God, it feels so much less fun to play than it does with the controller. The thing is, these types of games, action RPGs, have always been played mouse and keyboard. You know, it's just in their blood. So naturally, they're going to optimize for mouse and keyboard. But the reality is, controller is also really fucking good. But at the end of the day, doesn't matter how fucking good controller feels, inventory management, fuck me, dude. It is nightmare. Just like straight up nightmare fuel. Trying to manage your inventory on a controller makes me want to put my fucking head through a wall, dude. It is miserable. It's always been miserable in action RPGs. But that's the thing. When you're actually playing the game and not having to fuck with inventory, it feels a million times better to me because it's going to change from player to player. But to me, it's always felt a million times better. And this was ever since Diablo 3 came out on PlayStation 3, I think. Because it wasn't a simultaneous release. I think at some point, Diablo 3 came out in PlayStation, which was also around the time that it came up with Loot 2.0. And that was when I was like, holy shit. It's like the third eye opened. I'm like, bruh, this is a million times better than mouse and keyboard. It's not even remotely comparable. Now I understand it for a lot of people who still prefer mouse and keyboard. I think that's fine. But like, bro, playing these games on a controller, it's just so much cooler, dude. It is just so much cooler. The problem is, again, inventory management fucking blows. Man, I'll give you guys that. So it's like, if I wanted to optimize for managing my inventory, I'd do mouse and keyboard. If I want to optimize for actually enjoying the game, I play controller. This is why it's so fucking important for us controller players that you guys actually just make it seamless, mouse and keyboard. I just want to be able to click the item here, move it over there. That's all I want to do. WASD is also so much better than point and click. Point and click. Like, listen, I get it. I played Diablo 2. I was addicted for Diablo 2 for the greatest of times. It was probably my favorite game of all times before Dark Souls came out. Before I got invested in Dark Souls, Diablo 2 is my favorite game of all time. But like nowadays, I would not be able to play an RPG point and click. I just find it fucking miserable. I know that you have control over your character. It just doesn't feel good to me. It feels weird, right? Especially after having played it with a controller. But that's going to be player preference and all that. I'm just saying all of these things are my preference. Like, to me, doing point and click in an RPG is abject misery. Like, it will actively make me unhappy to try and play the game like that. Did you try WASD? Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same. Like, look, WASD is still a million times better than point and click. Yes, WASD a million times better. Controller, even better than that. There are situations where I will say, though, controller has this advantage. Like, for instance, if your build relies on a lot of, like, spells, AoE spells that you need to, like, point and click, like, say, you know, an AoE spell that you actually, I click over here and then there's a big explosion. If your build uses that, mouse and keyboard is always going to be better. Always, always, always. Controller cannot compare for precision of aiming AoE skills. Yeah, controller fucking sucks. It blows chunks. Though, to be honest, I would still rather play controller with this. Because the rest of the stuff, like the moving around and the dodging and all that, still feels way better with controller. Diablo 4 was the first for WASD. I don't know. I have no idea.
For way more items. There are also nodes that allow you to control your rewards.
I don't know how they fix inventory without letting you use a mouse on controller. They can. Like, you can make a million different like, you could spend years trying to figure this shit out. It's still not going to be better than just letting you use a mouse. Cuz, like, listen, you're just using the wrong tool. It's like you're trying to fucking, you know, get an Allen bolt out with a fucking Phillips screwdriver. No, it's never going to feel as good. It's just the wrong tool. It's that simple. This is why we have so many input devices on PC, is because you just pick the right tool for the job. Oh, I need to manage inventory? Guess I'm using mouse and keyboard. Oh, I want to play the game? Guess I'm using controller. It's that simple. You just pick the best tool for the job. And it's the same thing. It's like, say, oh, you're playing a first-person shooter? You're likely using mouse and keyboard as well. Or you're playing a third-person action game? You're going to be using controller. It's just that simple. But again, there's also personal preference in the middle of that.
This one, which adds a set of new lineage supports to the Marshal of Zesht. Or this one, which lets you control which womb gifts you will get.
Dual input's the way to go. Shame this game is scuffed for that. I'm sure that they'll get it, because, like, I'll be real. I'm giving them shit because it's been 4 league patches and we still haven't gotten it. So I'm giving them a little bit of shit. But from what I've seen so far from GGG, I do have faith that these are, especially because of the, you know, their development philosophies and all of that. Everything that I've seen so far from this development team gives me a lot of trust in them, is what I'll say. And the simple fact that this is a free-to-play game that touches in nothing that is pay-to-win at all. Like, I've seen paid games that do pay-to-win, okay? So I have a lot of faith in this development team. Until they give me reasons not to. But so far, they've given me no reasons not to have faith in them.
There's also some nodes that affect the Genesis tree, like this one, which will cause Zesh to drop his head, which when returned to the Genesis tree, will grow a grasswing orchid on the side of it. You'll have to experiment to find out what this thing is good for. Putting rings on its fingers seems to make it happy.
Burp. We've done the Rune Seeker thing. I haven't seen this hollow form thing. Let me see this. Although, before we do that, let me get a cup of coffee. I want to get some coffee. If you guys are enjoying the stream while I'm out getting my coffee, do hit the like button. It really, really helps me out. If you're watching on your phones, there's like a hype or boost feature or whatever. If you guys want to do that, I'd appreciate it too. But I'll be right back to get my coffee. I'll see you guys then. Yeah, buddy. Buddy. It was never free. It's always been $30. It'll be free on launch. It's going to be a free-to-play game. Like, stop. It's going to be a free-to-play game. What do you want to call this? It's an early access game right now, but this is a free-to-play game. You just can't play it right now unless you play $30. But it is going to be a free-to-play game. And to be honest, those are probably going to be some of the best $30 you'll ever spend in video games. Okay, it's really that simple. It really is literally that simple. This is some of the best value I've ever gotten out of 30 fucking bucks. And it's very tiresome whenever people start saying, well, actually, this is a paid for video game. I don't agree. It is a free-to-play game. It's just not free at this point yet, but it will be. No, I haven't started it yet, Dan. They have a 50% off this weekend. Bruh. $15 for this game is a fucking steal.
Showed me a path. But through discipline and training, I have forged my own.
In Return of the Ancients, we're adding the third ascendancy class for the monk, the martial artist. The martial artist took his training into his own hands and has spent decades mastering his proficiency of hollow techniques, building his body into the ultimate weapon. The monk may still walk the dreamer's path, but the martial artist redefines how, mostly by punching things very hard. Let's take a look at what he has to offer, starting with his exclusive skills. Hollow Focus rings a death knell for your foes. Ethereal bells constantly appear around you, and hitting them causes them to shatter with a powerful shockwave. These bells can always be killed and are always primed for stun, so using them with Killing Palm and Staggering Palm is ultra useful. These bells are also always critically hit. Why does that last bit matter? Well, Hollow Resonance thrives on critical hits. The final step for the bell-centric part of the martial artist is strapping a bell to your back, which will ring out whenever you critically hit an enemy, delivering damage around you. Both of these bell skills are...
I'll be real. I'm not into the whole martial artist thing, but this video is doing fucking wonders for that.
also quite good at stunning, which will come in handy later. If you prefer keeping your distance from the fray, Hollow Form lets your astral projections do the dirty work for you. While channeling, you constantly spawn clones of yourself that attack with skills of your choice. You can also spend power charges to spawn triple the clones, for maximum damage and maximum ruckus. And for the three of you who are thinking, but what about shapeshifting? Enjoy your meditating wolf. Of course, the martial artist has plenty to offer besides new skills, such as taking pride in his Ezomite training by tattooing runes into his flesh. Runic Meridians gives you 5 extra rune sockets to play with, perfect for all the new runes you can find in the Runes of Elder League. If you want to focus on chaining together attacks, Martial Adept and Martial Master are tailor-made for you, generating massive amounts of combo to spend on things like these, and protecting you while you do it. Remember how I mentioned being good at stunning might come in handy? Way of the Mountain covers you in a stony carapace when you immobilize enemies. The stacks are easy come, easy go, but provide massive benefits, causing your attacks to deal a lot more damage, and reducing the damage you take from smaller hits to a tickle. Last, but certainly not least, let's put on some nice normal gloves and... wait, what the heck are these? Way of the Stone Fist transforms any gloves you equip into fists of stone until you take them off. These gloves grant truckloads of evasion and energy shield, but more importantly, they transform the explicit modifiers on the gloves you equip, and yes, it works on everything. This, that, and yep, even these. Needless to say, there's a lot to discover about this one. So that's what the class can do, but how does it come together in practice? We've got a couple of endgame builds to show you to demonstrate the might of the martial artist. First up, the snowbound executioner wields a big staff, bells, and a very well-toned body to ice out his foes. Shattering Palm and Herald of Ice mow down packs of enemies and continuously trigger the shockwaves of both our bell skills. Because we're constantly freezing enemies, we're generating lots of Mountains teaching stacks to keep the damage flowing and protect us while clearing. And we're also taking full advantage of Way of the Stone Fist with this monstrous pair of gloves. Against tougher targets, we switch to Ice Strike and deploy even more bells per second with a Temper spell. Our cooldown reduction also allows Hollow Resonance to trigger as frequently as possible for even more damage.
Like, this part is kind of weird to me. The way that they just show, oh, check out this new build we made. And it's like, here's a pinnacle boss, which is supposed to be some of the hardest challenges in the game.
A second,
watch this.
With a Temper spell.
Boom, 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 boom. Fuck this boss. Fuck mechanics.
To trigger as frequently as
fuck
possible
your mechanics.
For even
fucking
more damage.
It's just like, what the fuck? Yeah, we made a bunch of mechanics for this boss. Fuck all that. Watch me blow it up in 2 seconds. Like, I don't understand. These are the types of things that sometimes confuse me. It's like, look at all these mechanics we made for this boss. Yeah, fuck all that. Watch me blow it up. It's like, what the fuck?
If you'd rather a little more fisticuffs, we've got a banger of a Hollow Palm technique build for you here. If you didn't know, Hollow Palm technique is a keystone on the regular passive tree that turns your fists into weapons in their own right, so it's perfect for martial artists. This particular build uses Staggering Palm's avalanche of projectiles to power up its whirling assault, and also gets great use out of Way of the Mountain thanks to how much it stuns enemies. But the centerpiece of the build is Hollow Form, and the huge benefits it gets from power charges. While clearing, we can rely on Killing Palm's inbuilt power charge generation. But what to do about bosses? Well, we've made sure Killing Palm can handle those too. With Culmination and Aelith's Chimes providing a power charge engine, and Martial Adept cranking it into overdrive. Which means, when a boss crosses your path, you can just do this. It is clear to see the martial artist is a well-disciplined powerhouse. So, which path will you choose?
Did you see him just delete another
on
boss just like it was nothing?
May 29th, when Return of the Ancients launches.
Alright. See the delirium changes.
As you may remember, during Act 4 you were tricked into releasing an ancient entity from a Karui prison known as Tangmazu, the Raven Trickster. Tangmazu delights in breaking the minds of those who step through his mirrors, and when touching one, he will attempt to destroy your mind with twisted abominations generated from your worst fears. In Return of the
So that's the vision of the developers. Yeah, it's like I've noticed over every, with every major update to Path of Exile 2, I've accepted that the developer's vision is zoom zoom. Like, I think at this point, we can't really argue that anymore. There used to be a point in the beginning where I talked a lot about it. We talked about it on streams. I probably made videos talking about it because there was a lot of discussion in the community, to the point where, if you guys remember, I even made that poster of a hog just saying, Fuck those Bloodborne players. Go back to Bloodborne, motherfucker. The fuck out of my game. I thought that shit was funny. But it's like, we had that big discussion where it's like, okay, which direction are we going? Are we going in the direction of, like the developers have said, more intentional combat, more methodical combat, or are we going to the direction of zoom zoom? With the evolution of patches and leagues that we've had for Path of Exile 2, we are 1,000,000% going into the zoom zoom, which is in a lot of ways, I think is actually problematic for the people that prefer playing Path of Exile 1. Because with the direction that the game is taking, I just kind of feel like you're going to get to a point where once Path of Exile 2 fully releases, like Path of Exile 1 is over. Because I could be wrong here. I don't play Path of Exile 1. Don't crucify me. But that's kind of like what it feels like because the games aren't really that different anymore. It's just not. From what I can tell, like in Path of Exile 2 now, by the time you get to end game, you're blasting screens. That's what you're doing. Very much like what you were doing in Path of Exile 1. I could be wrong in terms of like the power level, and maybe in PoE 1 you can still get way more power level than you can in PoE 2, but the developer's vision through what they've been showing through their promotional material and whatnot, and what I've seen from the player base, is like, yeah, it's just blast screens. It's just blast screens. Yeah, like Eddie Arrow is saying, the only part of the game that feels different is the campaign, and that's likely one of the reasons why I actually like playing the campaign more than maps. PoE 1, you're blasting screens from the get-go, kind of. Okay, so you have, it's like a ramping up of PoE 1, basically. But I think it is zoom zoom. I'm pretty sure it's zoom zoom. And it's only going to get faster with each new league. Yeah, that's the way that it seems like. I think that's essentially where we're going. I would have preferred us to go in the other direction, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not at a point in my life where I'm going to be like, oh, I'm so mad. It's like, look, you either like it or you don't like it, and if you don't like it, if it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, this is too zoomy for me, it's not fun, then I'll just stop playing it. It is what it is. But for now, I'm still having a lot of fun with it, so we'll see where it goes. The core player base didn't accept this slow, methodical gameplay. Yeah, I've noticed. People don't want to be dodge rolling. They don't want to be active blocking, which is one of the things that really bothers me, because it's one of the things that I've always wanted for ARPGs. Bro, active blocking would be so cool. And like a big chunk of the community is like, fuck that. I will passive block this bitch with 75% base block. Fuck active blocking. And I'm like, okay. All right. And meanwhile, the devs in 0.2, they go like, what if we had parry though? You guys remember parry? Y'all remember parry, bro? There's no parry in this motherfucker. What the fuck do you mean? Once you get to maps, you delete that. Nobody parries. The methodical part wasn't bad. The endgame maps didn't let you do that. Yeah, they don't. It is what it is.
Ancients, the first time you approach one of his delirium encounters in the endgame, you will find Elder Maddox locked in a trance. His mind is trapped in one of Tangmazu's delusions, and you will need to free him.
Have you checked Doc Captain Lance Made that compiled a lot of starter
Once free,
builds from creators?
Elder
into
Maddox
Doc?
demands
Nope.
that as you caused this problem, you should put it right. He asks you to travel west to the Withered Willow, the location he believes that Tangmazu first gained his
So
powers.
delirium is for the
But be careful.
the things that change
As you
the
travel
tree.
there, the
I'm
Raven
likely
Trickster
not
will
doing
attempt to
this
break your mind. Each map around the Withered Willow features delirium encounters.
one. This is actually
Now, this
one
is
of
more
the
than a simple quest update.
mechanics that I was not a big fan of. I didn't like delirium very much.
Mechanic of
Probably
delirium
one of my least favorite league mechanics.
has been overhauled and expanded. At the bottom of the screen, there is now a bar that indicates how deep into delirium you are. You can see which direction leads deeper by looking at the fog, and the deeper you go, the more challenges you will face. By looking at
There's still a lot of balancing to be done between 0.5 and 1.0, though I'm still holding on for more methodical gameplay based on the interviews. Have they said anything in the interviews that they want more methodical gameplay? Because, look, when I look at this, and by the way, I'm not trying to, be mean about it or like try to argue in my favor or whatever. But like when I look at this,
waves of
like where was it? Where's the one where he fights Zesht? Is it further ahead? Might be further ahead. Yeah. Like when I look at this, the first thing that comes to
tougher
mind
targets.
is
We
not
switch to
methodical
Ice
gameplay.
Strike
Like look at
and
this.
deploy even more bells
It's like get fucking cursed and
per
get fucking
second
deleted.
with a temper spell.
Boom, boom,
Our
boom, boom,
cooldown
boom, boom,
reduction
boom, boom. What you
also
gonna
allows
do?
hollow resonance to trigger as frequently
Done.
as possible for even
Like this and it's like this is an official promotional video. Like this is their vision. And then you look at this one. This one's even worse. Right? Like look at this.
which means when a boss crosses your path, you can just do this. It is clear to see the martial artist is
Like as far as I'm concerned, this is the vision. Like that's the message that sends. So it's like I'm not holding out my breath for methodical gameplay anymore beyond the campaign. I'm like, all right, you know, this is what the game is. We're gonna play it like that.
Tangmazu delights in breaking the minds of those who step through his mirrors. You should put it right. He asks you to travel west to the Withered Willow, the location he believes that Tangmazu first gained his powers. But be careful. As you travel there, the Raven Trickster will attempt to break your mind. Each map around the Withered Willow features delirium encounters. Now this is more than a simple quest upgrade. The mechanic of delirium has been overhauled and expanded. At the bottom of the screen, there is now a bar that indicates how deep into delirium you are. You can see which direction leads deeper by looking at the fog, and the deeper you go, the more challenges you will face.
Wait, how can you see which direction goes deeper by looking at the fog? I've always struggled seeing
There
this.
is now
Like, is it the rays that they're going this
a
way and
bar
I'm
that
supposed to
indicates
go
how
that
deep
way?
into delirium you are.
Okay, and then it changes like this.
You can see which direction leads deeper by looking at the fog.
I guess you
And
can
the deeper you
kind
go-
of see the fog moving that direction, but it's very, very subtle.
The more challenges you will face. By looking at the bar, you can see how long you have until the delirium ends. And you can also see special encounters that you will face if you're able to go deep enough into the fog. At the end of the bar is always the boss of the map, but we now have a variety of other encounters that you might find as you explore the horrors of your own mind. For example, you might encounter a purple mirror shard that when shattered will cause all the enemies to become more nightmarish. After hitting this, you'll notice the delirium demons are enhanced, significantly more powerful, larger, and scarier in general, along with more rewards. Or should you encounter a red mirror shard, you'll be sent into the depths of your mind. And must escape it while fighting off hordes of your worst fears. If you are able to do so, you will gain a powerful amulet with 2 instilled notables on it. Once you reach the Withered Willow, Elder Maddox discovers that a shard of the mirror is missing. You will need to track down Tangmazu and restore it if you have a hope of discovering how to defeat him, and that means entering the Raven Trickster's mirrors in an attempt to locate him. Each area around the Withered Willow contains delirium encounters, so that's a good place to start. As you do deliriums, some of the special encounters will drop liquid emotions. Normally these emotions can be used to install amulets to add notable passive buffs to them, but in Return of the Ancients, emotions have a new function as well. Each one now has the ability to add crafted mods to jewels, allowing you to add specific mods to an item slot that can be quite difficult to roll. For example, Liquid Despair will allow you to add critical hit chance, while Liquid Suffering will allow you to add movement speed or Air of Effect to your jewels, but there are many more. Once you've done enough delirium encounters, the location of a grand mirror, an entrance into Tangmazu's realm is revealed, but it won't be that simple to enter. Using his powers, he reflects the map boss for a ridiculous empowered fight, then destroys the entrance into his realm of madness. In order to find him now, you'll need to let the insanity fully into your mind. A strange fruit is left behind which you can consume to fully embrace the madness in an attempt to reach the Raven Trickster's realm. Consuming the fruit will cover an entire area of the Atlas in fog, and every map you do in the fog will get progressively harder and harder as you explore the deeper reaches of your mind. At some point you enter a new layer. A simulacrum of your memories, twisted and perverted by the Raven Trickster. Should you be able to complete the simulacrum, Tangmazu will believe that you are worthy of a true challenge, and will let you take the remaining shard of his mirror, allowing you to enter his realm of madness back at the Withered Willow. If you dare to face him, it will be a fearsome challenge. So, that's the new storyline of Delirium. As you can see, it's not only a quest line, there are new mechanics, new crafting options, and new boss fights. But one question you might have is, what happens after? Well, once you've completed the story, grand mirrors will start appearing on the Atlas sometimes after completing Delirium encounters. After doing the grand mirror, you can select where on the Atlas you want to do your fruit-induced drug trip and get another key to fight Tangmazu. But this time, the fight will be quite a bit harder. And not only that, the fight will be able to drop a bunch of new uniques that were not available in the questline version. After doing a grand mirror, the decision of where to spread the fog can be important, because there are some potent emotions that only come from certain map bosses affected by Delirium this way. Like all emotions, they can craft special mods onto jewels, but these potent emotions can create mods that you can't get any other way. So for example, Potent Liquid Melancholy is an emotion that can only come from human bosses, and allows you to add a variety of on-hit effects. Also, you might want to try instilling amulets with these emotions. They could have some interesting effects, with some powerful notables that do not normally exist on the tree. Like Storm's Rebuke, which makes armor break boost your cold and lightning damage. But also notables from a clearly deranged mind, like Calm's Blessing. This skill allows you to ancestrally boost fire spells after using a Warcry. How about using an ancestral Flame Blast? Now, just like before, you can also upgrade the League by getting points for a dedicated Delirium Atlas tree. But this now works in a much better way and has much cooler effects. The maps in the Delirium area of the Atlas.
I'm sure your Shield Bash will be able to walk right through bosses like that. Sure thing, Dan. Sure thing.
Give you Delirium passive points for completing them, so it's easy to see how to progress. Some nodes will add new types of mirror shard encounters to your Deliriums. Like this one, which will pause the Delirium for some amount of time, allowing you to more easily get to higher depths. Or this one, which adds extra Delirium modifiers to monsters when you pick it up. There are also nodes that can add new types of drops, like this one, which modifies Simulacrum encounters to add special liquid emotions, which can craft time-lost jewels. And nodes that apply to the Atlas mechanics of the League, like this one, which causes the Grand Mirror to spread Delirium fog over a larger area of the Atlas, potentially containing multiple simulacrums. Alright, so that's the changes to Delirium. The core mechanic now includes a bunch of new things to find, new monsters to kill, and has new mechanics on the Atlas. It also has new crafting system for jewels, and over 20 new unlockable notables for amulets. Not only that, but you have a new Pinnacle boss with a bunch of new unique items, and a massively upgraded Atlas tree just for Delirium.
Nope. We will do Breach for the shield, and we will do Expedition. And that'll be that. Well, maybe some Ritual for uniques, since you can get uniques in Ritual. Let's see about these user experience improvements.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. We've added a ton of new quality of life features in Return of the Ancients. Here's a couple you'll find useful in the endgame. The Atlas now has a search box that updates live as you type. If you have a specific map you'd like to run, just key in the name of it and you'll be able to locate it instantly. Hitting enter will move you from map to map, allowing you to easily move between them. This works on more than just map names. You can find biomes.
While limit yourself and not do everything, time. Yeah, pretty much time. Because, like, you can do everything in this game if you have infinite time. I don't. Do everything at least once. I have children.
Powerful bosses, or even specific mods. Really anything about a map you can think of. And this can come in handy if you get specific tablets that you want to use with specific mechanics. So for example, if you get a tablet that adds extra essence encounters, you might want to run it with a map that boosts essences. By typing essence in the search box, you can find maps that will affect them, like this map, which causes essence packs to have 2 rares in them. Now that we have trade market search built into the game client, we've also added the ability to price check items you find more easily. Shift-Alt clicking an item will now instantly search for it on the trade market, showing you the current prices. For rare items, it's handy to exclude some mods, so we've added the ability to enable and disable each modifier individually, letting you see exactly how each one affects the item's price. And that's not all. The Fragment Stash tab is finally coming to Path of Exile 2, and with it comes some serious tabception. This tab is a dedicated...
This tab, by the way, is the reason why we don't have seamless controller and mouse and keyboard. I would exchange this tablet, this stash tab, for seamless mouse and keyboard like that. I would just be like, yep, gone. I would Thanos snap that bitch out of existence for a controller and seamless mouse and keyboard. Just like that. 100%. Worth it? Fuck you, Sartha. You're getting banned. That's what you're getting. You're going to get a ban. Get the fuck out of here. Do everything at least once, including neglecting your children. Yeah, right. Worth it? Worth it? I hate all of you! I hate all of you! I will burn this bitch to the ground.
Headed storage for various boss fragments. There's also a tab for all your precursor tablets, with each tablet type receiving 6 tabs of storage. Finally, there's storage for your Jinn Barriers and Inscribed Ultimatums, both of which also get 6 tabs each. Speaking of changes to stash tabs,
wait,
we have
to buy that one, right? We have to buy the Fragments tab? Damn it.
A ton more runes that have been added to the game. In order to fit them, we've modified the Socketable stash tab. There are now 5 substashes for runes, Kalguran runes, soul cores, idols, and ancient augments, giving you much more space for all those runes. All these features and much more are available in Return of the Ancients launching May 29th. Thanks for watching, and see you at launch.
There were some cool features in there, with the exception of the Fragments tab, because we could have gotten seamless mouse and keyboard and controller integration instead, but okay. All right.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. The Runes of Alderley contains remnant encounters that can grant you a huge variety of rewards. Among these are Kalguran skills, fusions of Kalguran rune shapes, and Rayclast magic that are powered by your runic ward instead.
Dude, what if there's a Kalguran skill that uses your shield? Target an area, curse enemies with a Varisian rune. Curse applies. Curse does not apply to enemies. Fragility. Hitting these enemies causes the curse to trigger an explosion to deal damage in an area and apply significant knockback to other enemies near the cursed target, with more stun buildup based on the fragility of the target hit. Bitter Dead. Spend ward, target area, transforming corpse into bitter cores that seek out enemies and chill enemies near them. Cores explode at the end of their duration, creating runes which deal additional cold damage.
Bit of mana. They also don't have attribute requirements, meaning they can be used with any class. You'll need to plan your ward costs around them, but with the right armor, and maybe a rune or two, you can augment your character with runic might, or even make a build dedicated to these new skills. Raise chilling volatile orbs with Bitter Dead, which spends ward to create chilling cores to seek out your enemies and explode them, also dealing damage and leaving behind a rune that deals cold damage over time.
But you need corpses for that.
Exploding the corpses of enemies after they're dead might feel a little ancient. Instead, detonate your foes while they're still alive, causing enemies hit with Detonate Living.
Detonate Living. Oh, it's a culling strike.
That are under the cull threshold to immediately explode. Conductive Runes spends ward to create a number of runes in front of you. After arming, these hazardous runes will explode when stepped on by...
This type of skill I don't think is going to be very used. I mean, people use skills that like blast through maps. Oh yeah, this skill you put runes in the ground, then you like lure mobs over. It's like, no.
An enemy, dealing
Unless you can put runes and mobs are running behind you and then they'll explode, I guess that could be reasonable.
lightning attack damage and causing electrocution buildup. This skill excels in getting you out of your current predicament, incapacitating pursuers or getting you out of a tight corner.
Yeah, see that this is more what I had in line
And
for
causing
this.
electrocution buildup.
How he kind of
This
just
skill
like
excels
runs
in getting
through.
you out of your current predicament,
Yeah.
incapacitating pursuers or getting you out of a tight corner. Runeforged Blade spends ward to make supported skills fire projectiles after fully armor breaking an enemy. Investing into projectile modifiers like Pierce or Chain will boost it even further. Eternal March taps into your reserves of runic ward to instantly restore your dead minions to life. Use it as a panic button when a boss crushes your army into dust, or even provide more fuel for minion explosions. Just be careful, as spending this much ward will leave you vulnerable. If you want to cosplay a turtle without holding a pesky shield, Runic Reprieve has you.
Like, do you see what I mean? Do you see what I'm like? People just have this unnatural hatred of shields. It is just straight up not normal. It is not normal, bro. The shield hatred is insane. Like, look at this is a developer speaking. Look at what he says about shields. Why even put shields in your video game? Like, look at
Just
this.
be careful, as spending
Like,
this much
listen
ward
to
will
what he
leave you
says.
vulnerable. If you want to cosplay a turtle without holding a pesky shield,
Without holding a pesky shield. Bro, why does everybody hate shields? This is crazy. The absolute level of hatred for shields. This needs to be studied. This needs to be studied, bro. Why do people hate shields so much? Oh, God. Shields are for people with skill issues. See, this is a see. If I'm not even gonna say it. I was gonna say something that's gonna get me in trouble. I'm not even gonna say it. It involved longsword, so I'm just not gonna say anything. Okay, I'm just not saying anything. I'm staying quiet. That's it. It'll get me in trouble. So no. But yeah. Anyway,
Runic Reprieve has you covered, literally. This channeled spell behaves quite similarly to raising your.
so wait, what
Runic
does this
Reprieve-
thing do? 100% increase stun threshold while using skill. Lose runic ward on block equal to the damage you took from that hit. You take 21% damage from blocked hits. Requires at least 20% of maximum runic ward to be able to use this skill. Channel a protective bubble around you, blocking hits against you. While channeling this skill, the damage you take from hits is also removed from runic ward. You cannot use light stunned by hits you block.
Has you covered, literally. This channeled spell behaves quite similarly to raising your shield, blocking all hits you take. It even protects your back. However, every time you're hit, your ward depletes, and you can't recover it while channeling. Additionally, every hit causes heavy stun buildup on you, just like raising your shield. Sometimes what's buried in the past can still hurt you.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he didn't say it, just like raising your pesky shield.
Fragments of the Past creates a Verisium volcano, which spews ice fragments around you for a duration. This is an excellent way to augment your ice fragment builds.
Eruption radius is to limit one volcano. Volcano duration is 8 seconds. Initial eruption triggers ice fragments with 2 additional projectiles. Triggers it is an attack. Projectile trigger sustained cold duration. But it seems like you have to be standing still.
Still hurt you, like raising your shield. Sometimes what's buried in the past can still hurt you. Fragments of the Past creates a Verisium volcano, which spews ice fragments around you for a duration.
Again, this is something that requires enemies to be standing still for too long. I almost think this goes against the current vision of the game.
Excellent way
slow.
to augment your ice fragment builds, complementing your Wolf's Cross Slash or a Freezing Salvo ice build, as well as others. Try out these Kalgurin gems.
Yeah, that feels way too slow. The volcano. Or don't you wish shields in games were bigger? They don't have to be bigger. They just have to be better. There's a difference between bigger and better. I'd rather them just be better. Okay, so hold Let me do this. And, oh wait, I wanted to... Do I need to? I think I can do it from the regular menu. So let's go ahead and delete this. And we would be doing this. It's not working. See, this is exactly what I mean. I can't even make my goddamn class using a controller, dude. No. Can't even create a class. Now let's do hardcore again. It's just a temporary character anyway. Mercenary, hardcore SSF, dead meat 59. We need tower shields, not bucklers. We have tower shields in the game. What? Which one of you guys stole my character name? Fuck is wrong with you? Which one of you... Oh no, I already... Oh, it'll... What the fuck? That's weird. Okay, so you didn't do it. Okay, fine. Fine. All right. Let's turn the sound back on.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Oops. You'll hear from my lawyers, Mr. Khan. That is defamation. There's a lot of frivolous lawsuits going around. Go ahead, do it. Do it! I dare you. I double dare you. Anyways, don't actually do it. I'm joking. Please, leave me alone. Yeah, we'll do this. Yeah, we can keep it like that, and then toggle map. I forget where I had the map. This we don't have. Oh yeah, we do. I keep the map there? Maybe I do. Whatever, that works. And then in here we want toggle fire focus. Bob's your uncle. Find your way to safety. Oh no!
Yeah, I'm all right. But you...
Miller,
I just watched the death of a game video for Monster Hunter Wilds. Wait, there's a death of a video game for Monster... No way, dude. That's such an easy video for me to make, though. Like, reacting to that. What? Death... Wilds? Wait, there's no way. Oh my god. Oh my god! That is crazy. It's a 30-minute video too. Jesus Christ. This will be like a fucking 2-hour reaction. That is crazy. Yeah, I'm not doing that now. I'm just like blown away that really people want to hate on this game so much that now we need to have Death of a Game Monster Hunter Wilds.
It's been many years since I saw one of these little beauties.
Where's the one for Marathon? Marathon's not. Oh god, dude, Marathon and Destiny player bases. I saw Aztec cross the highlight from one of his videos. Actually, I think I saw that whole video. Aztec Cross is going like, listen, Marathon, if I have to fucking bury you, put you in the ground myself. Wait. God damn it. Again with this bullshit. Why does this not get put in there? It's so weird. Ow.
Not dead yet. I fought some big buggers before, but blimey.
See ya, kiddos.
Please come inside.
Well, doubt these
Friendlies then. Well, I've no Smith for you. There's a beat. Now, if you could channel your violence.
kindness will
If you
get you
could
killed in
channel your
times like these, old
violence,
man.
I'll be happy to channel some fucking violence, bro. Give me a second, guys. Scratching my head, wondering how people think the death of Marathon's going to lead to D3 and not the closing of Bungie. Like, look, I've been through a lot of fucking companies dicking me over when it comes to video games. To a point where, like, I completely understand where players are, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them, bro. They're fucking mad. They should be mad. They got fucked over. They were made a promise. They said, yep, we're making this thing. It's kind of like an MMORPG, and there's a massive community. And the thing is, that game is wildly profitable. It is wildly profitable, make no mistake. It's just not obscenely profitable. And that's why it's getting shut down. Because it is profitable, it's just not on an obscene level, and therefore they're like, well, that's just not enough, okay? We don't need some of the money, we need all of the money. That's the way that it goes. And it fucking blows. It is what it is. Let's put this in here.
Can't do that here.
They already said D3 isn't happening and it's never been on the books. True. vai e voltas imediatamente, não é para lá ficares. Sorry, it's just kid misbehaving as per usual. Damn. All the money is not worth a little money. Yep. You need all the money. Listen, it is the fallacy of greed, which, by the way, I did just yesterday. Not in terms of money, but like in terms of this kill team game we're doing. I had a chance to get away scot-free with making 3 victory points. Okay? I could have gotten 3 victory points, like completely uncontested, as in there's nothing you can do about this. I'm just going to get 3 victory points. The maximum points you can score in a game of kill team is 21. So these 3 victory points are very, very important. And I was like, I can just make 3 victory points. And that would have been it. I would have just done 3 victory points. I would have won the game. Straight up. But I was like, what if I risked it all for 4 victory points? And that's when you realize, you know, you're just a greedy fucking bastard. That's what you are. You're just a greedy bitch. And you get what you fucking deserve. And that's what I got. I got exactly what I fucking deserved. You guys want to know what happened? Because I risked it all for the 4 victory points instead of taking the 3. By the way, remember what I said. 3 guaranteed. As in, you don't have to roll a dice. You don't have to do anything. This action straight up gives me 3 victory points, and there's nothing he can do to stop me. All right? That's how it worked. So, what ended up happening? What ended up happening? I took a chance, and this is one of those things that's super easy to justify, because I'm like, well, yeah, but his character only had 1 health. The character it only had 1 health. I could have killed that character. Nope. 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 I risked it all for 4 points, and what happened? Not only I scored 0 of those points, 0, as in nothing, I also gave him 2 points because of the risk I took. He ended up being able to capitalize on it. So I fucked up, lost the 3 victory points, and my adversary made 2 points because of my greed. And that's kind of like the way that it goes with a lot of these companies. Now, the difference is I did this in a game where there are no stakes. It was a training game. It wasn't even like in a tournament or anything. It was just like, I'm going to risk it. It'll be fine. And these companies do it for real. They're like, yep, we're going to risk all the greed, all the fucking greed. Because, like, make no mistake, Bungie is one of the greediest fucking companies known to man. As a matter of fact, there are 3 companies in particular. You could add 4, because you can add Electronic Arts in there as well. But to be honest, Electronic Arts is like, I guess they don't make that many video games that I care about. The stuff that bothers me about Electronic Arts is their shit with sports games. But to be honest, if you just had, you know, if you were just smart and not play the fucking dumb yearly releases of sports games, you wouldn't really have this problem, but whatever. But, you know, these companies... Wait, why is shield block there? I'm sorry, I got completely thrown for a loop. Shield block should be here. As I was saying, these 3 companies that really bother me are Ubisoft. I think Ubisoft might be the most egregious one. So every time I see that, like, oh shit, Ubisoft's stock is in the shitter, I'm not gonna lie, I'm happy. I am happy as, like, is there an expression called happy as a clam? That's me. I'm a happy boy. Every single time that I see that Ubisoft is getting fucking railed, I am happy. I'm like, yep, fuck you, eat shit, don't care. Like, just straight up. Because, and here's the thing, I'm sympathetic to the developers. Developers that are getting laid off and all this bullshit, I'm sympathetic to their plight. I think it fucking sucks that developers are treated like they're basically treated like a market commodity. That's what they are for a lot of these companies. It's like, yep, you're useful to me now, so I'll keep you. The second you're not useful, I'm not even going to make an effort to preserve your well-being, to safeguard your job. I'm just not even making an effort. If I can sack you, I don't give a fuck if you kill yourself if it raises the red line by 1/10%. That's how much a lot of these developers are worth to a lot of these companies. It is absolutely disgusting. So I'm sympathetic to the developers, but at the same time, I want the leadership of Ubisoft to get absolutely fucking railed on the regular. I want their stock to tank beyond any, just like completely get fucking railed. And some of you guys are like, why? Because a lot of their business practices are incredibly anti-consumer. So Ubisoft can get in the ass, they can get absolutely blasted and fucking disappear. And I know that a lot of people are like, but Rurikhan, Assassin's Creed, and it's like, yeah, tough titties, okay? They've fucked around and they're I wish they would find out. They never do, because they always get away with it. They made that new Vantage or whatever the fuck it was called, or Vanguard, or some such nonsense. They made another company where they transferred all of their Assassin's Creed and all of their major IPs and yada yada yada. But it's because of the fact that they have such terrible business practices that I'm very much against a lot of these companies. So Ubisoft is one of them, and the reason why is because they literally sold you EXP boosters in a single-player game. They sold you coin doublers in a single-player game. And some people justify that. Jason Schreier being one of them, by the way, which I respect a lot of Jason's reporting and all of that good stuff. But like, Jason Schreier was straight up, these microtransactions, they're fine. You don't need the EXP booster. And it's like, motherfucker, depends on the difficulty that you're playing at, doesn't it? It's a fucking pay-to-win feature in a single-player video game. Why would you ever defend this practice? It is beyond me. But, you know, people will do what people will do. It is what it is. But that's the reason why I don't like Ubisoft. Then, there's Activision Blizzard. I mean, that one's pretty self-explanatory. They've completely destroyed Blizzard from the inside out. They've made so many fucking terrible decisions that World of Warcraft is just like beyond being a shadow of its former self. It's just a poorly developed piece of trash at this point, which is extremely disappointing. But you know, that's Activision Blizzard. They just fucked a lot of the Blizzard IP that I really, really liked. And a lot of the shit that they do nowadays is beyond being anti-consumer. Although, I should add that ever since the Diablo 3 days that they've been exploiting anti-consumer business practices with the fucking real money auction house in Diablo, which was absolutely disgusting, right? So there's that. So that's Activision Blizzard. And then there's Bungie. And what is the deal with Bungie? Okay, so there's two things when it comes to Bungie, right? The first one that happened with Bungie was, so look, I've always enjoyed Destiny. I'm a huge fan of the first Destiny, the second Destiny. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really great game. But what happened was, there was a time, and this is going to be a repeated story for people that know this story already. There was a time where Bungie was throttling EXP, but they didn't tell anybody. They're just like, oh, it's whatever. And then at one point, they made this weekend thing where they buffed EXP. And I'm surprised that very few people ever talk about this. Like, you'd figure that this would be something that people would talk about, but no, they don't. And so there was this time where they did this event where they had buffed EXP rates. So some players were just calculating like, oh man, you know, with this increased EXP, I can do all of this, and I can get these Eververse items. It's gonna be great. And so they were optimizing their farming, and then they realized, wait a minute, so earlier today, I was getting this amount of EXP, then I played for like 2 or 3 hours, and I started getting less EXP. What the fuck happened? That's strange. And so they go on Reddit and shit, and they start talking about it, and they're like, hey, what's going on with this EXP situation? And a lot of other players are chiming in. They're like saying, yeah, that's weird. It seems like there's some type of throttling going on after a certain part of us playing, right? After a certain amount of time. Somebody even calculated how many hours it was or whatever. Before we continue, let me just shout out New Video Nerd before I forget. New Video Nerd, thank you very much for the souls. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. Bungie doesn't cook anymore. They just warm up shit in the microwave. Yeah. But so, you know, people figure this out. And, you know, once they confronted Bungie about it, Bungie just goes like, oh, no, we're not doing anything. Like, we don't know. They acted like, oh yeah, this is news to us. We have no idea what the fuck's going on. So what? You're saying that, like, you know, shit's not, you know, you're not getting enough EXP. That's so strange. We have no idea what's going on. And people tested it, and, you know, they were saying like, hey, look, there's a problem. And Bungie's like, no, there's no problem. We're not applying any throttling. No, we're not doing any of that. So they lied. And then people came back and they were like, no, we can clearly see that you are fucking... Wait, okay, why does this keep happening? Like, dude, this is pissing... I'm sorry. This is pissing me off so much. Like, stop. Don't go there. You know, people were like, no, we can clearly see that EXP is being throttled. Like, fuck you. Stop. And then eventually Bungie came out and was like, yeah, you're right. We were fucking you in the ass. And when you caught us with our pants down, we fucking lied about it. And we figured you guys would just forget about it, right? And so the only reason they ever admitted it is because they got caught red-handed. And there was nothing that they could do to kind of like disprove it, because players actively just straight up proved that they were doing that. They're like, yeah, okay, you got us. And I'm just like, how can you ever trust a company after that? They were literally harming your EXP farm. You guys are like, I mean, aren't you limited to 30 levels or however much it was for Destiny 2? Like, why does any of this matter? Because back in the day, I don't know if it's still the case, but back in the day, in Destiny, when you were leveling up, why do I keep shooting at the small one? I'm so dumb. Every time that you leveled up after you've hit level cap, you would gain a little cosmetic thing that you would usually have to spend money for. So a lot of players naturally were trying to optimize their EXP gains so that they could get maximum, as many friggin' cosmetics as they possibly could, because they really liked the game. And Bungie was limiting EXP gains to prevent players from earning all of these items, because like, no, fuck that. You want items, fuck you, give me money. That was their thing. And so I was never able to trust them after that. I was like, no, fuck that shit. That company's full of fucking liars and scumbags. Like, the leadership in that company is absolutely disgusting. And then to top it off, their their expansion model is absolutely beyond anti-consumer. For those of you that do not know, the way that their expansion model works is basically you buy an expansion, right? Like, imagine you would buy the closest example, because you guys are going to be familiar with Monster Hunter in my channel, right? The closest example is like, let's say you buy Iceborne, and it's like you'd be expected to pay an additional cost for Kolth to Roth, the master rank version of Kolth to Roth. You know? Or, oh, hey, how about the Fatalis pack? How about the Elatrion pack? That's how it worked. So you buy an expansion, but the dungeon for that expansion, no, that's a separate cost. Which to me is just like, and the worst part about this was that every time I would speak out against this, there would always be those Bungie loyalists that would just come out of the woodwork and just be like, you don't even play the game, you don't know what you're talking about. If you buy the season pass, it comes included. And I'm like, motherfucker, like, could you just surgically remove your tongue from Bungie's anus for like 50 seconds and think for yourself for a little bit? Like, God, that was so frustrating. That was so frustrating. But yeah, that's the reason why, you know, Bungie to me is like, fuck you, Bungie. And I know it sucks for the devs, but the reality is the leadership team is never really going to see any consequence. That's just the way that it goes. They're never going to see any consequence for all the bullshit that they've done, because, you know, the only way for the leadership team to see consequences... Actually, no, that's the thing. I keep thinking if the company would go under, then the leadership team would see consequences, but it's not even that. Because if the company goes under, the people that see consequences are the developers. Because the C-suite executives always have a fucking golden parachute. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. That's the way it goes.
no mana.
It's funny because I'm more than happy to support a company, but the moment I feel like I'm being nickel and dimed, I'm out. Yeah, exactly. Like during Diablo 4, because I'm such a Diablo fan, I gave Blizzard the benefit of the doubt, right? I gave Blizzard the benefit of the doubt, and I was like, all right, let's jump into Diablo 4. I even said, like, I liked the story of Diablo 4. I thought it was pretty good. I know that a lot of people didn't like it. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I liked the gameplay of Diablo 4. I also thought it was pretty good. And then they pull the stupid shit with the fucking dark pattern on the season pass. And I'm just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And it was so funny seeing people defend that. You have no idea how many people defended that. And it was hilarious because, like I said, there was like 3 developers that came to that Twitter thread to say, yeah, that shouldn't have worked like that. And there were still people saying like, yeah, skill issue. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's like, and then the other thing, the developer straight up said, yeah, it was wrong of us to do it like that. They never gave anybody their season pass tokens back. They're like, yep, fuck that. Also, let me just do something. Just do something real quick. Rurikhan never forgets, never forgives. I forget often of plenty of things, but getting fucked over by gaming companies, no, I do not forget, and I never forgive.
Out of mana.
Out of mana. You don't have any mana, mate. I'm still looking for the quest. There's like a quest in here somewhere. There it is. The abandoned stash. Ah, we can leave. Wait, am I supposed to read that book? I forget if that's a part of it.
I have received reports of a number of villagers hiding at the Clearfell logging site. Travel there and convey my
Take a drink
order
every
to
time he
return.
mentions the dark pattern.
Anyone
True.
refusing my authority should be
You're gonna get
considered a
cirrhosis.
traitor and a criminal. Deal with them as you see fit, but bring their bodies back to the manor.
Okay. Sorry for the fraud, bro. Yeah, true. I do want to get a mace as fast as possible because I don't want to be spending too much time playing with crossbow. Because it's very easy to just get used to crossbow. Becomes kind of like a crutch. Crossbow's very good though. I'll say that. I do like using crossbow quite a bit. Which I've always found funny that in the first time I played the game, nobody liked crossbow, and I'm just like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. This shit's fun as fuck. My favorite weapon. Pew, 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 pew. Did you see her just teleport and reset friggin' heavy stun? Fuck you. Some bullshit. Is it hot in Portugal? Oh yeah. It's pretty bad. I've actually had to be, I've had to turn on AC in most of my streams now, which I didn't used to do that.
Kinda walked into that one, didn't I?
Kinda walked into that one, didn't I? First character ever in PoE 2 is a crossbow merc with galvanic shards. It's a grenade build, bro. Grenade build, so good. Everyone play light bowgun Monster Hunter, but he's all for it in PoE 2. I actually like guns in most games. I'm a sucker. Like, to give you an idea, in Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, my favorite character is Eugen, and he's one of the gunners. As a matter of fact, he's the one gunner that you actually have to aim your attacks with, which is pretty fun. The thing about that is, the reason I don't do bowguns in Monster Hunter is because I'm too lazy to deal with crafting ammo. I think crafting ammo is tedious, and having to deal with the limitations of that.
Keep back!
Which is weird, because you see me constantly advocating in Monster Hunter for more friction, but the specific friction of the way that guns work is not fun to me. Eugen is dope, understandable. Yep. Not a fan of grenades. Yeah, I can understand that. I like grenades because explosions, but I can also agree that trying to actually play with grenades was very frustrating. It was very frustrating early on trying to just play with grenades. Hey, MeTech, what's up? You ready for this league, Ruri? I have no idea. Like, if you go to the start of the stream, you'll see the build that I'm planning on doing. It's going to be pretty miserable, I'm not going to lie. I don't think it's going to be a good build. But I'm pretty sure that that's the build we're going to be rocking.
Bad dog.
What if I played that build and it was so miserable that the devs were like, okay, we need to change this skill? Wouldn't that be hilarious? Like, we've seen this one streamer from Portugal. Oh, thank God we got one of these. Yeah, let's go. We're swapping. Wait, I don't even have any skills for it yet. Do we have skills here? Let's wait, I can't. Let me change stuff. Wait, let's put this here. Here. Oh, right, the talismans. I forgot about those. Medium mana flask, medium life flask. Damn, we have a level 2 skill jam. Look at me go. What do we want? Rolling slam or bone shatter? Rolling slam, of course. That's what you always start with. Wait, I have 2 skills? Nice. Let's get bone shatter. Wait, should I do earthquake? I'm gonna do bone shatter. Bone shatter's the basic bitch. Do we do basic bitch or do we do earthquake? I'm not doing all of them. How does earthquake even work? Smash the ground, dealing damage in the area, leaving behind jagged ground. Slows enemies. Jagged ground erupts powerful aftershock after duration. Cannot create jagged ground. I think bone shatter's better, so we're doing that. It's also more mobile, so we'll do that. This goes here. And then this goes here. This goes here. I will get rid of these. And then for a support, how do I... Bone shatter or rolling slam. Probably rolling slam. Armor explosion. Support skill. Circle explosion. Fully break enemy's armor. Bleed. Brutality. Physical damage. Do we just do physical damage? Oh no, ancestrally boosted. Of course. Ancestrally boosted. Then we have another skill. Let's take rolling slam lower level 2. So I guess we'll do bone shatter. Aaron, Bob's your uncle. How about this? Armor? Yes. Evasion rating? Don't need that. Give me a second. I need to sell all this stuff. And... Ooh, neck. Oh, didn't even realize we had gotten that. Also, looks like we have new passives, so we're going to get some attack speed.
Out of mana.
Whoops. See, this is something I love doing. Like this right here. Love it. Ah, damn it! Right up until they do that. That one trick. I think I need to go to town, though, because we are out of healing juices. I need to get used to doing this faster, because I just don't like going to town. It takes so long. But filling up potions takes even longer. Dying takes even longer. Anyone know if there's a way to play a supportish build? Yes. But you would probably want to be playing that with other players unless you are using summons or something like that, I would imagine. Let's go ahead and sell all of this stuff. Yo, Renly, my man, my man Renly. Renly.
That'll be useful.
All this. I do want an identity scroll. Reduce charges per use. Oh yeah, we don't need this. Just sell all of this junk.
Go well.
Actually, we can just do that. Sell
Not
this
a good
too.
idea.
How can I help? I'll find some. Stick to the cairns.
Stick to the kerns. Someone speaking. You guys could see that. My daughter was like, I have to go do homework. It's like, we'll do it soon, sweetie. We'll do homework soon. See, this is the thing that, like, I've told you guys I have tons of problems with my son. My daughter is the other way around. Like, she is the sweetest little girl. She gets home, first thing she's like, Dad, gotta do homework, gotta get that done. My son just straight up fucking lies about his homework. Which is very weird. I don't know where he got even the fucking concept of lying, because I fucking loathe lies. I cannot stand liars. It's very frustrating. It is what it is. Get bashed. Yeah, we're probably going to be rolling slamming our way through, even though it would be much more efficient to actually... much more efficient to just play auto attack crossbow, but man, as I didn't realize that warrior skills costed quite so much nowadays. I'm so over these first few acts. This is like one of my favorite parts of the game, is doing these acts.
To cut and run. I won't end up lining a
Get big shield with big armor. Yeah, I know.
Stay dead.
Look at how slow that is, with a one-handed weapon, too. Like, do you guys realize that our attacks with one-handed right now are slower than what the dev was showing with a big, meaty fucking two-hander? That's crazy. I think that totems are going to be our go-to early on. Like, totems are really good, I feel like. Rattling Scepter. Rolling Slam's getting faster attack. Yeah, but it's still... I feel like it's still probably going to be slow as fuck. Did they, like, I swear to God, it feels like they increased the mana cost for this. Because I feel like I used to be able to do way more rolling slams this early in the game.
No
Am I
getting
wrong?
through here.
Was there a league where they just increased the cost of rolling slams?
No mana.
Oh, it's probably because I've already upgraded to level 2. I probably shouldn't have done that, actually. So risky playing hardcore like this.
Trap, eh? Let's do this. Out of mana. No mana.
Like, you see, this to me is like the vision of what the combat should feel like throughout the whole experience. You know what I mean? When you're talking about the vision, this to me is like ideal. I love this. Like, there's a payoff. I'm playing smart. I'm blocking when I have to. Countering with shields. Looking for openings. Dodge rolling. It's just way more fun. That's clearly not what is intended. Oh shit, I'm actually out of potions. Oh shit. Bruh, stop! Am I missing? What the fuck? Die, bitch!
You need more than an overgrown weed to take me down.
Whew! That was rough. This. Cute. I don't actually need any of those, so whatever. Let's go. Oh yeah, I wanted to go here. Bop. No, wait, actually don't do that. Oh well, it's already done. I should have gotten this one first. Should have gotten the other attack speed. Been way better.
An excuse for a wolf.
Alright, I can still do bone shatters when I'm doing my shield press thing. It might actually work.
Need more mana.
We put a bunch of damage into bone shatter. We just put like a bunch of stun in the thing too. So we still need to find a tree, because that's where the waypoint's gonna be. Yo, Broseph. Brosephinos. Like, these types of little interactions like we just did right there, I absolutely love that. But I think that I'm very much in the minority when it comes to that shenanigans. Oops, right, I have to talk with you first.
Did you visit? I'll wait here.
Did you visit? Bunch of TikTok brainers said, nah, it's boring. No, I don't think it's fair to call it TikTok brainers. It's just, this is... It's like, look, what the devs have taught them to do in PoE 1 is like, listen, this is a blasting game. You're here to blast. And people learn to really enjoy blasting. You can't blame them for that. You can't just blame the people and go like, oh, it's their fault. Like, no. The developers taught them that blasting is the most efficient way of doing anything. And the players are like, well, we like blasting. Blasting's fun. So it is what it is. I don't begrudge anyone. I ain't got time for that shit. Let's go Red Veil. What is the most tank feeling class to you? Wouldn't that be the Smithic Katana? Oh, actually, no. It would be something with Energy Shield. Probably. I'd imagine something with Energy Shield would be the tankiest class. You guys see how we got here much faster than yesterday, for instance? This is one of the reasons why I said that, like, I want to do some prep streams. It's not even just because of, you know, it's just getting that muscle memory going, figuring out what we're doing at the very beginning, yada yada. I still think that crossbow would have been way better this early on, but I just don't want to get used to crossbow. Ow, he got me.
Need more mana.
Damn. Bro, die! Die, you bastard. Can I block this? No, you still get frosty.
One down. Who's next?
Die, you bastard. Did you cut impact shockwave on Bone Shatter? Not yet.
Need more mana.
Oh, we're out of things. Have to actually go back and refill.
That must be what I'm looking for.
Yes, it is. Put that there. We're gonna sell. Wait. Some medium. What do we got? It's whatever.
How's the clearing?
Don't even feel like
I'll
figuring
find
that
some
out.
use.
Oh yeah, let's actually big armor shield. You have that? No, you only have this one. Lame-o. You do have some of these though. These are kind of cool. Smithing hammer of menace, physical and crit, physical damage and accuracy, physical damage, accuracy, and crit. I guess this one has more. Yeah, this one's more. I'll take this
That
one.
will
Thank
do
you.
some violence.
That'll do some violence. Oh yeah, we need some armor, bro. Can't believe I don't have armor yet. What the frack? This is expensive though. Let's buy the
That's
white.
a good one. Go well.
Thank you. We'll also
How
do with
can
some
I help?
gloves.
Friendlies that. Well, I've no. I'm Smith for
You got some gloves, old man? Armor gloves? Guess that was too much to ask. It does have armor boots, but I also have those. Armor gloves was just too much to ask.
Stick to the
Alright.
cairn.
That makes a bit of a difference now, doesn't it? Grab that.
Need more mana.
One girdle.
Should have expected a trap.
So is PoE 2, is it better to buy gear or wait for a good drop? If you mean buy gear like what I did right there from the NPC, you probably, I mean, if you can get something good, yeah, definitely buy it from the NPC. At the end of the day, the best stuff is mostly still going to be either drops or stuff that you gamble for.
No mana.
Just getting into PoE 2, is Merc or Warrior better for the shield playstyle? Probably Warrior. And probably Smith and Katava? Maybe? I'm not 100% sure. What the fuck? What is the effigy for? It's the first time I've seen that. I'm actually surprised rolling slam is quite as efficient as it's been. Yeah, what's going on with these? don't remember seeing those effigies before. Anyway, there's another obelisk down there. I'm gonna have to learn about crafting better though during this league. I'm gonna have to become better at crafting. Been sitting here for the last 4 days trying to decide on the build and I just can't decide it. I need to close my eyes, pick one of the 7 I'm thinking about playing. Just do what I did. Just like start making random stuff up and be like, this looks like it could be interesting. Sorry about the dog. She's really excited. No, what's going on? Crafting looks like a whole can of worms in this game. It is.
Creepy.
It very much is.
Out of mana.
Bonky bonk.
Ah, the last one.
Come on, bro. Oh, he broke my guard. Take that. Break my guard, I'll break your face. Damn it, I got lightning out of that.
No mana.
Boom.
Ezamites never give up a fight. I expected no less.
Alrighty, that was pretty good. Give me that. That was actually a pretty good start. And we got a level 3, which... Oh no! We have to do shield charge. I really wanted to do totem, though. I don't even have enough strength for totem. We also don't have enough strength for shield charge. Now we have to do shield charge first. Yes! This is the way. So we get 1 passive. Oh man, I can't put strength. And I can put strength here, but I'll have to like respec it later. I kind of don't want to do that. So we'll do this instead. Oh wait, what's this one? Oh, this one gives 5 to strength, so yeah, we can get strength. Boop. Now I can get this. I would love to be able to just do shield charge. I don't think that's going to work. Let's find out. What's that hand, by the way? Is this punch? Perform an unarmed strike. Okay, sure. Sure thing. Sure thing, boomer. Bonk. See, this is my build right here. This is what we're doing. We are going to shield bash everybody and everything. Just like that. That's the strategy. That's the build. Time to sell all this trash, turn in this quest.
Curious, I would ask.
Oh, God. It
We'll find
begins.
some
Like runes, eh?
Give me
Well,
a second.
whatever works.
Ah, he finally has like the good shields and stuff. But yeah, I think that this is looking.
Bring it back.
The biggest issue is still whether or not shield charge is going to work. Like, we need to make it be faster. Is there shit to make this thing be faster? Because, like, look at how slow this is. Does attack speed make this faster? Because I can already see we're going to be doing something like this, except it's going to be shield wall, and then we're going to be BAM! The wind-up? I don't think so. See, that makes me hesitant. Because this is the biggest problem with so many of these skills, right? So many of the mace skills, the biggest issue with them is the fact that they all have huge wind-ups. And then you look at, like, spells and they get cast instantly and they deal, like, 50 billion times the damage of a mace skill. And you're just like, why? Just why? I don't get it. Like, if you look at most of these, all of them have major windups. This is why my most successful one was Shockwave Totem. Because it's like, it's the fastest thing. It's just like, boop, Shockwave Totem. Attack and skill speed. I mean, we are gonna have those in the thing, so yeah. Movement speed? No, I don't think movement speed affects how fast you start the shield charge. For me, totems equals longsword from Monster Hunter or dung pods. Anyway, unfortunately, guys, I do need to get some other stuff done because the kids are home and I need to help my little baby girl do her homework and all of that jazz. Hopefully I'll be able to work on another video that I wanted to get done today. We'll see if that gets done, but for now, that's going to be it. I'll see you guys later. Thank you all very much for the support and showing up. Like I said, my league start is probably going to be on Monday. So you guys watch all the good streamers before then. See how fun they're having in the league, and then you get to watch me fuck it all up on Monday. And yeah, we'll see you guys later. Stay strong. Stay safe. Peace out.